Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone's having a good holiday, good Christmas, good Kwanzaa. It's getting what you got to say so many things now. So we're just going to say happy holidays, even though I prefer to say Merry Christmas because that's what the holiday is. Even though that's not exactly what it is, but that is what it is for all of us people out here who are buying presents and hanging out with friends and family and stuff like that. It's Merry Christmas for us. Or it's a pain in the ass, whichever way you want to look at it. But I've been on the road a lot lately, and I was planning on taking the last 6 weeks off because I was remodeling my house, but my daytime job got really busy. My maintenance construction company got really busy all of a sudden. So we were just swamped with stuff. A lot of people just getting ready for the holidays, and man, everybody's been in a good mood. Everybody's been happy and smiling and singing and dancing. And even on the highway, when you flick somebody off, they're like, "Oh, let me sing Jingle Bells to you." It's just insane, man. So I mean, so it's good. It's good. I've been pleasantly surprised by that. It's kind of nice to see people, out having fest. And I mean, we're going to talk about a lot of different subjects tonight, and some are harder news than others. But and on the So they set the dates, January 20th. Jay, you'll have to say the name because I always blow the name. It's
Balenciaga.
Yes. So we're doing a show. All the hosts on the network are invited. We'll see how many actually are going to be there. All the hosts on this show will be there because we'll be basing it out. We're the ones who will actually be talking about it. I've got a good friend of mine, Amelia, has been sending me tons of information. Another friend of mine, Moss, has been sending tons of information. Another friend of mine, Jean's been sending me tons of information. I will probably spend the week before, maybe the 2 weeks before, reading all of that. And I'm reading as I'm going along in case it's something I need to pick up or research on something else. Also on when is it? May 12th, or is it May 14th? It's the second Friday in May. We're going to be doing a Writers of the Special thing on L. Ron Hubbard. So y'all can come check that out. It's going to be a 2-hour, maybe 3-hour show. So have lots of different people on. We're going to be discussing a lot of stuff, the good side, the bad side, the middle side, whatever you may think or not think. Everybody's allowed to come in and express their point of view. I'll have John Goodwin with me. Probably have a couple other people from the family. And just, we want everybody to find out what it's about, what it really is, not what you've heard on NBC or CBS or as far as some crazy person walking down the street. Hear it from the people who are involved in it, hear it from the people who are not involved in it. But all of that's going to be fun. But for now, Emily, Jay,
Hello.
how y'all doing tonight?
So
y'all
far,
good?
So good. It's 5 degrees here. 5.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. With wind chill? What's your wind chill?
Wind chill -18.
Screw that. I'd see. That's why I live in the South, man. I'm just telling you, that's why I live in the South.
Yeah,
we're negative 26 almost here.
Oh, God.
Let me check it. I haven't checked it in a couple hours.
I think right
25
now. I think right now, just regular temperature, we're 18 degrees. That's now. If you take the temperature, this is what's funny. So today it was 21 degrees. I went underneath my house and I have a thermometer underneath my house. It's got to be in the shade. If you're going to take true temperature, it has to be in the shade. So it was at -5 because of the wind. The wind, it's weird how this house is set up. So if you're sitting on my porch upstairs on the balcony enjoying yourself, there's not that much of a breeze. It's a beautiful place to sit and you can watch it by, but if you go under the house or on the side of the house where the house is raised, man, there's always a breeze. There's a bridge across and it's like it funnels right underneath us. It's great. Except in the wintertime. And it wasn't like that. I mean, that's what I said, man, it's 5. I was like, Lord. To tell you what it was, I went outside, turned on the faucet, stuck it in a tree. This is at lunchtime. By 1 o'clock, there's ice. I'll take a picture later on and put it on post. It's covered in ice, man. It's covered. It's like it's a winter wonderland in my backyard, is what it is. So much fun.
The Area 53 wind tunnel under your house.
Yeah, well, it's freaky. I think they're testing the new SR-72 in my house. I think it's really going on. But the show on January 20th is going to be, so everybody, get in your calendar, come on. Be there because we're going to be there and we're going to be talking around a whole range of stuff from crazy dolls to pedophile dolls to crazy insane people and a link of things that seem to link these companies together in a long line of links. And some of the strangest people seem to be tied into these companies. So, but that's not tonight. We'll talk about it on January 20th. We'll probably bump the show to 3 hours because it's just a lot of material to cover. And I know how to host on this network. They're going to all want to get whatever they feel or believe in. I mean, just the dolls alone will probably take an hour. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe longer than that. It's just nobody's going to be cut short because we want everyone to express their views because this is a lot of stuff that most are bobbing through life. To put this in perspective, 5 years ago, Stephanie and I did a show on football dolls, we call them. And this was a horrific show. We had people mailing and calling. We broke 5 million listeners. The archive broke almost 4 million. I mean, it was insane how big this show was. I mean, we actually made quite a bit of money off the show, which was not its actual intent. And it was so freaky because here we are 5 years later, and everybody's like, "What? What are you talking about?" I mean, it stuns me because we weren't the only ones talking about it. That somehow the world just forgets. It's almost like y'all been flashed with the flashy thingy. I mean, really, it's hard. It's just it's hard. But anyway, how are y'all? What y'all want to talk about tonight? You've been needing to smack somebody around or something. You got some neighbors you need to smack up on, some kids or something. I mean, we here for that kind of stuff. Stuff like that. Emily, look at Emily's got that smile.
I'm just glad to be here finally. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling better.
I know. I was getting ready to ask you how you were feeling because I know you sounded rough the other day.
Yeah.
Yes, Emily was, like many other people in the country, has got the flu. And I'm glad the flu is, 7 or 10 days instead of like COVID that you never know when the end's coming. I mean, I had COVID for 16 days. I'm like, what the hell is this? I asked my doctor. I did. I went and asked because, nobody knew what COVID was yet. And it was in January. And I went and asked my doctor. I said, what the hell? She said, well, Joe, it's not the flu. 16 days. It ain't the flu. Flu stops, 7 to 10 days. I said, well, what the hell I got? She said, I don't know what the hell you got. And she ran all kind of tests and called me 3 days later and said, I still don't know what the hell you had. And then all of a sudden, what was it, in March, we started hearing these sneakers. In February, we started hearing about COVID. I'm like, really? I was like, really? I was pissed. That's all I can say. I was not.
I'm just glad to hear that the flu's back from its 2-year vacation.
I know you see that. And, that's something we talked about a lot. We got banned on YouTube several times for talking about where's the flu.
Yeah.
The flu. And I still remember all my friends, well, we wear a mask now, we clean our hands. I said, we do that for COVID, and COVID's still here. And he's like, you're an ass, Joe. I'm like, well, it's true. I mean, it's true. I mean, it was not like I was lying or something. I know when we put the COVID test up on this, we got in so much trouble that CDC was bitching at us. YouTube was banning it and putting it back, banning it, because all we did was, being a contractor, and we wear a certain kind of mask when we do work that are take out very fine particles. So COVID was like mil 5. It's not all, it's a particle that can get through any mask, even into you. The only thing that's going to stop COVID, like respirators we wear for when we're standing, like that would be huge compared to that. But the regular mask they were talking, so we said, okay, not going to argue that. We took 2 masks and then 10 masks, put them on, got in a room, and what we did is we colored the air. So we had people in line, and we just colored the air. So they're breathing, doing their normal thing. And so you can see when they move, because some of the air was hotter, so you'd see the color changes and it go above their head and would just sit there. And then the next person would come up, and then the air would go back down on top of their head. And so anyway, when the test was over, we asked them to remove their mask. There was just color everywhere. All right here was colored and covered. So all that just means is if there was COVID there, you just got it. It was useless, and we got in so much trouble for that. And so, the guys, and they're screaming at me in the newspaper. I said, you do know I'm OSHA certified, right? And he's like, well, wait a minute. I said, no, dude, I'm OSHA certified. Don't give me no bullshit. I know what kind of particles they are. I said, I had to know for OSHA because it's the kind of work we do. I said, because we're around lead paint and stuff like that, we have to know what the milliseconds are. I mean, the mils are. And then they got all like, well, maybe we'll put your thing back up, but you really don't need to be talking about this. So they unbanned us, but they still wouldn't leave the videos. The 2 videos that were up there, they took them down. They were too good. I mean, one of them we used yellow. It was just everywhere. Go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry.
Even without that kind of testing, they were saying, and it was a doctor, and I don't think he was with the CDC. He might have been with them at some point, but they were saying if you go into a store and you can smell the fish at the meat counter, COVID can get through the mask.
Yep.
And they had these masks that I can't remember the brand that we sold at my old job, but they were cloth masks, and there was like several layers. And so I went into the grocery store, and I walked over towards where the meat and the fish were, and you couldn't smell the fish. I'm like, well, maybe this mask is good. But even if you can't smell the fish, if you don't have it on right, I mean, there's big gaps around the side here, and sometimes, especially if you wear glasses, there's gaps on the top. So, I mean, even with the proper kind of mask, if you're not wearing it right, I mean, you've got a beard, Joe. I've got a beard.
Yeah, I got a fuzzy face.
Even with the big mask that you wear to keep the lead paint out of there, if you don't have a seal here, it doesn't make a difference. So the masks are just.
Well, it even says on the box it does not protect against the COVID virus.
Yeah, and
worse than that,
it would, and they were going off on people that, you know, you got to wear these, you got to wear these. It's not going to stop me from passing it on to you. It's not going to stop you from passing it on to me, unless we're talking like the.
You know what that was? That was to make a third of the population feel good. That's all that was. They were panicking. They were freaking out. Okay, they said this will stop them, you know, because the Orientals wear them all the time around the world, and so yeah, they do it. Well, no, the mask just. You know, when they wear those masks when they're doing surgery, it's not for germs. It's so they don't spit into your body while they're working or drip, you know, when they're talking or something.
Or sweat.
It's really what it's for. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I've talked to many doctors about it, and they said, no, the mask isn't designed for that. It's not, you know, you need a much heavier, you know, and if I wish I would have had it in tonight. I know I was going to talk about it. If I would have had one of our respirators here. Now, this thing fits over my face. It looks like Darth Vader. It's like, it's got two big air filters on the side.
Zach Bagans.
Yes, I mean, when I'm walking around and, you know, people are like, "Is this guy going to raid us or probe us or something?" I mean, it's freaky, but it works. And it's designed to go very, very fine, and you can clean them in and change them. It's really it's a great product for what we do. But could you see Americans walking around like that?
They're not cheap either. They're like a couple $100 a pop.
Well, if I had to walk around like that, I would have to have.
You need a red one, though.
Yes, I would have to be ready. It's if I'm going to look like Darth Vader.
I feel left out now. I need to get one.
There's this new thing, Emily, called Amazon. You could get yourself one real quick.
It's well, no, people. We didn't. Okay, so since we're talking a little bit about COVID. So we were talking about this before the show. So most people don't realize this, and it's funny to me. I want to say dumb Americans, or just they don't pay attention. So Obama, by the way, is the one who did research. Obama said this was funny. He was like, "Wait, what are y'all doing? And where are you doing it? No. That's got to stop. I live here, okay? I live in this country. No, thank you." So he did away with it. So what did Fauci go do? He took this upon himself, by the way, because the president did not tell him to go do this because the president didn't like this kind of research. And he sends it to a lab in China. So what's the odds, really? Because now we know Source 2 is already around. It had already been invented, and we had been testing it prior to sending it to Wuhan. So what are the chances of the part that was tested, the new COVID, because that's what's got out, not the COVID that they were testing in the United States, the COVID that was changed in Wuhan. What's the chance of it somehow mutating into a bat and then the bat slobbered on somebody's food and that's what happened? Oh, come on. Even the Chinese aren't buying this bullshit. The people of the Republic are just not buying this. Nobody is. And now there is a Republican Congress, so they will probably go after all they like to call is the Chinese disease and see what happens. You know, a good friend of mine who's in Hong Kong, we were talking the other day about how many people have actually died in China. Now, we know Wuhan, we had them in Beijing and Hong Kong. We're getting us in trouble of the empty streets. And so they show you're going down, you're leaving the hospital that just had collapsed and killed all those people. And while you're going past it, you're seeing these steel gates that had been riveted on people's doors and houses so they couldn't get out. Then you go down this block, and there's at least 40, 50 cubic. They're all incinerators, and they're running nonstop. And I'm not kidding you, people. There's times that I actually thought I seen one or two of them bodies kicking or moving. Now, it could have just been reflex because bodies do when they let out gas and they do reflex, but it was freaky. And they can't deny it because we're not the only ones that got video from it. Now, for some reason, NBC, ABC, CBS, even Fox did not want to report this as news. Why? It did make it in the mainstream, but not by them. Other lesser newspapers and networks picked it up, and then the bigger networks had to say something about it. But why? What were they scared of? I mean, that's journalism, right? Isn't that what journalism is? Breaking the story. I mean, according to
the truth, at least anyway.
Yeah.
That's not. There's no such thing as journalism anymore.
Oh, I agree with that statement 100%. As far as
Mhm.
journalism goes, I just, it's a thing of the past. There's no more real journalism. It's just more about my opinion is what it is. You have, if you ever notice, ladies and gentlemen, places like uh, um, Roku and Amazon and Vision, Vizio Television and Apple Television and Samsung Television, when when the news doesn't say news plus opinion, even they don't think it's news anymore. I mean, this is what's sad. You can't even the
It's
network.
predictive programming now, and every news station has the same statements that they repeat over and over again to brainwash the people, the baby boomers generation that was raised upon the news to trust anything that comes out of the TV.
Yeah,
My dad's one of them. That's why I keep complaining about him.
yeah, well, some of them do. Some of them are, but you got to remember, a lot of baby boomers are the ones that started all the riots and too. So it's some of them are, but some of them are like, wait, what's going on
Well,
here?
they're too old to riot now, so they sit at home and listen to
They got
TV.
canes, girl. They whoop you with the damn cane. I'm telling you, they get out there with them canes and
But
whoop you.
if you go to every network, doesn't matter if CNN, Fox News, NBC, MSNBC, whatever, it's exact same phrases over and over again, over and
It
over.
is. It's like, it's funny because we make bets on it. You could go channel to channel to channel to channel and just watch the same story. It was somebody different saying it, but it was the same story. But then again, then you would start seeing shit like, oh, 2 people in this network, 10 people in this network, 8 people in this network. Then they couldn't even get their story straight on who was dying, how many were dying, how many weren't dying. That was just got to be sad. I was like, and it was sad because CNN was a good network. Now let me say this, and I'll let you go. But
Okay, go ahead.
CNN was a good network. Now we're talking about when we watched Desert Storm and what was going on there. That network was good. They were reporting real news. They were bipartisan. They were reporting which party was doing what. And then I don't know what happened right after that.
They made money.
Yeah,
they switched ownership.
Yeah, and that's right. They did switch ownership, and then thank you, ma'am. It's been a liberal rag ever since. And that's as politely as I can say that. I mean, that's the truth.
Well, just even Google Chrome is all in on it. Just go, anybody listen to right now, just type in 1, 2, 3 COVID deaths, and it'll show that. Then go in, put another number in, 450 COVID deaths. Put in a weird top number, and it'll show you, it brings up all the articles, and that's the header of the articles is the number of deaths you put in. It's all propaganda.
And 100%. Because I've been looking at the numbers, and I haven't looked at them lately, but the Spanish flu came over here after World War I, and not just here, everywhere, the whole planet. And estimates, granted, this is over 100 years ago, but estimates were that 1/3 to almost 1/2 of the planet were killed by the Spanish flu. 50 some million people, all within a 2-year time frame, same time frame as we are at right now with COVID. And we're only at, and I think the last number I saw was somewhere between 6 and 7 million dead worldwide. Yet here's the Spanish flu that killed 5 times that, almost 10 times that, 104 years ago.
Well, I like that you use 1/3 because they do use that number a lot too with the COVID deaths, or 1 in 3 people have COVID, long-term symptoms. 1 in third died here in this city, third died, because they're also playing off the biblical revelations of 1/3 of the planet's going to be casted off, or death will come upon it and stuff. You just use that number too. Look up 1/3 or 1/3 on anything COVID, vaccines, anything, and it's going to have article after article, same stuff.
But it's clearly a lie. Like I said, the Spanish flu killed an estimated 50 million, and they think at that time, 104 years ago, about 1/3 to somewhere between 1/3 and almost 1/2 of the population of the planet. And we're at 7 million out of a planet that's filled with up to 7 billion. We're barely at 1%.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, and then every year, though, 1820, we had the yellow fever. 1720, we had something else. 1620, I remember researching this, and I went every 100 years, this cycle repeats itself. It's secular. Joe changed his face.
Was it polio? Polio is in the 1920s.
Yeah, 1920 and 1820 was yellow fever. Let's see what 1720 was.
That might be bubonic.
The Great Plague of Marseille, something.
Marseille. It's France.
Marseille. Okay. 1720, 1620. I'm not using Google, everybody, but I think 1620 was the yellow fever again, and then it returned. But I remember going all the way back. I went all the way back to 1520 and research. So every 100 years.
Where from a woman?
I know.
Sorry.
There we go. That transhumanism.
What the hell,
Got a
man?
Foley Joe.
I looked up and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, who's the chick?
That's Laura Lee from Angel Rock. But
Yeah, okay.
I was like, oh, there I am. Much better. Okay, yeah, let's get up, go get some socks. My feet were freezing. It's yes, people. I know, but I know we're in the studio, but it's like iceberg right now.
Iceberg, my rear end. It's 5 degrees up here. I have my heater.
Wait. Let me be honest. You're the dumbass that lives in the north. See, I live in the south. It's not supposed to be this cold down here. You know what our average temperature in December is? 65 degrees.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In January, it's 62 degrees.
You can wear shorts on Christmas Day now.
And there have been lots of days that I can wear shorts on Christmas Day.
I know. I lived in Georgia for 13 years. There were people walking around in shorts all the year long, just about.
If y'all want this cold weather, that's fine. Y'all want to live in the cold. I don't mind. You know?
I don't want it. Believe me, if I could have bought this house down in Georgia, that's where I'd be right now.
That's why liberals are so damn cranky. They live up in the northeast. Okay, anybody who lives in the northeast is gonna be cranky. Let's be honest. You live in New York, not you. I'm saying the liberals themselves. I don't mean you in person. That's why they're so damn cranky. I mean, if you had to deal with snow 5 months out of the year and freezing temperatures and things falling off because it's so cold, things breaking. I mean, yes, I'd be cranky too. I live in the South where it's warm and pleasant. People are friendly. Right now, even as cold as it is right now, if you go out to the Gulf of Mexico, it's about 84 degrees.
Here's an interesting thing that I heard on the radio today, which was kind of strange. The morning radio show, in the Hagerstown FM radio, they said that they gave the top 10 angriest, mean drivers for this time of year and the top 10 happiest drivers for this time of year. And you know what they said? And I can't remember all the cities, but all the cities where people were driving mean and angry were up north.
Yeah, because it's freaking cold and snowy and icy.
Happy, we're down south.
You're like, look, that's what I was saying earlier in the show. I mean, everybody down here has been pleasant, happy. There hasn't been much road rage, except for one damn Yankee who wouldn't get out of the left lane and kept honking at him. But other than that, everybody was pretty happy. No, he wasn't from Pennsylvania. He's from actually, he's from Illinois.
I was going to ask if he's from Ohio.
Oh, no, we're going to be talking about Ohio because the Saints are up there and they're supposed to be playing tomorrow night. So, what's funny is Saints almost always lose when they go play anywhere it's icy or cold. Before it changed, their quarterback is actually from a cold city. So maybe they'll get lucky with their 5 and whatever sells.
From that story I told you about this morning on the radio, three of the top 10 cities that were the angry drivers were in Ohio.
I live right next to Ohio. I'm in the tri-state area. Ohio drivers are the worst.
Well, I know. My dad is from Ohio. My dad was a great driver, and our family was in trucking for over 100 years in the Youngstown area. And my cousin just recently sold the company, but the 3 biggest cities, Cincinnati, Columbus, and Cleveland, have the worst, angriest drivers. And if you've ever been in Ohio, their roads aren't that great in the wintertime. They're terrible, absolutely terrible.
Well, one, I wouldn't drive anywhere with salt down because it eats underneath the car up.
Destroys
and I'm not hating because I live on the Gulf Coast. Like, I have to replace my back doors. I got metal doors in the back, and about every 6 or 7 years, I got to replace it because the salt eats the bottom.
Salt in the air.
And it eats the damn locks and stuff like that, and the fans outside have to be replaced. That's just part of where I live. But, man, riding on the road, I've seen cars get eaten out on the road before.
But on the plus side, living down there in New Orleans, you don't have to put salt on your steak. You just hold it out the window for a few seconds. It gets salty. You put it back on your plate.
That's pretty much right. Christopher, where are you from, Christopher? You from another coast. You one of them damn Yankees, ain't you? Yeah, I knew it. Anyway, I'm just picking. I got a lot of friends that live up north, and yes, whoever just said that, I opened my messenger so I can watch on y'all's crazy stream y'all got going on over Jimmy actually texted me, Joe, can you open your messenger? I said, okay. Anyway, well, it irritates me because this group of people, only a long time. So way back in the day when we were on Yahoo, we used to have a Yahoo chat group, and we formed a big, about 800 people. And yeah, crazy, and started letting these crazy people wild. So the company called Pal Talk, it was actually Fire Talk at the time. They opened up an area where you could open your own chat rooms and have control of them. You could bounce people and stuff like that and kick them out. You could have video and audio, so it was great. So we went over there, and we were there with UFO was UFO alien phenomena. We still own the rights to it for, I don't know, more than a decade. And then somebody, Jeffrey, came up to me one day and asked me, do I want to host radio? And I was like, what? He said, yeah, I got a show called Wake Up UFO Study. Wake Up USA UFO Study. I said, really? He said, yeah, come try it out. I don't know about hosting radio. I don't think I got the temperament. Matter of fact, my very first show, I got an argument with a damn guest. Are you kidding you? I got a bad argument. I told him he was a freaking idiot. I said, dude, really? You really believe that shit? I said, you're nuts. And but it was a tough show. Well, it was about the Golf Breeze case, and I interviewed everybody in Golf Breeze. So I really knew what was going on. This guy just,
that was a unique case, yeah.
Yeah. So and he was going on and on about stuff, and I'm like, look. So anyway, that was the first show, and it just kind of snowballed and snowballed and snowballed to where we are today, which is just kind of weird. Yes, and again, y'all shouldn't be up there freezing your asses off. There's lots of places to buy land in the South. You can live in Kentucky or Tennessee or Arkansas. It still gets cold up there. You know, last time I was when I was stationed in Tennessee, it snowed its freaking ass off. I'm not kidding y'all, man. I was like, what the hell is this? That's what I remember telling my instructor. What the hell is the South, man? Where's all this snow coming from?
Yeah, but Chattanooga and up in the north, they get snow. They're in the mountains.
Yeah, they do. They get snow. Arkansas, you get snow all over the place because it's basically a mountain state is all it really is.
They get snow in Vegas. They have a mountain in Vegas. They got snow right now. My buddy, my official costumer, lives out in Vegas. They got a ski hill not far from him.
Let me read. Where are they? You know, no, the dolls and new. We deal with the old dolls and new dolls. Well, this is a whole new breed coming out, and we're going to deal with this company. There's just so many connections with these companies. It's like when they started sending me from the Balenciaga, like, how do you say it, Jay? Say it again.
Balenciaga.
So when they started sending me on this, then all of a sudden it was just this company was tied to these people, this one that were tied with this one, that was tied with that one, was tied with this one. It just looks suspicious. I mean, it really looks suspicious. It looks like this group of people are working together. So it's like the video. So gentleman was introducing Joe Biden the other day at this club. So the guy walks in. The first thing he does is he does this and across there, and then he does this off to the side and down.
Oh, I saw
so, so first off, is it real? Is it real? Is it real? And then it seems like it is. Well, you know, what is that? Who is that part of? The Masons? Actually, it's part of two different groups if you want to get technical about it. It's so are they real? Are they not real? There have been things, and if you ever look at how DC was laid out by the Masons, it's all I can tell you, people, is pay attention, and next time you're flying over DC at a DC,
not just the Masons, a French Mason. What's that guy's name? His name's all over the town. It is. If you look at DC from the top, it's kind of laid out like with a modern eye, you would think it's laid out like a baseball field.
Yeah,
it's a compass and right angle, compass and triangle.
Yeah. So even building the city, don't think the people who are there don't know, because you do have a lot of groups out there. We do know that the Masons still exist. We do know the Skull and Bones still exists. I mean, George Bush was a Skull and Bones. Actually, 3 of our presidents were.
11 members of his administration were Skull and Bones.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, the more you look into it, and then don't forget we had Darth Cheney. If Darth Cheney wasn't like the leader of some I don't even want to talk about it, because he got the nickname Darth Cheney because we watched this guy. First, he's having a heart attack. He's back at work. Has a heart attack. He's back at work. Gets his heart transplanted and goes back to work. I'm like, you got to be shitting me, man. That's why I started calling him Darth Cheney, because it reminded me of Darth Vader. I was like, and he was scary. I wouldn't have screwed with him. he said we were coming for you. Shit, can't smell how he meant we coming for you. It's strange, and I was talking with I see what Emily just posted. I was talking with some of my friends earlier about that electricity popping on and off all around the country. I mean, ice is a bitch for electricity. It's a strange thing.
It pulls power lines down.
Well, the Masons have been around a long time, guys. The Skull and Bones have
long
been around a long time. Masons have been around a long, Skull and Bones, but still, they all been around. Oh, there's more than that. No, that's not just the only two. That's what keeps me safe. It always cracks me up about this. If there was only two groups, they could come split up, but there's not. Probably 5, maybe 7, depending on the Bilderbergs, who else you want to believe in. There's at least 7. So their problem is they don't all get along. If they all got along, we humans would be totally screwed. We'd already be stamped, and put away. We'd be just little minions doing whatever we were told, probably getting stuff in our food every day and in our air, and we'd all be like, ooh. We love the government, even though we probably wouldn't have anything. So that's our saving grace. If a chance figures either all or take them all out, then we're screwed. Even though there's 8 billion of us, we're still screwed. Mm-hmm. We don't control anything. We can control it, but we won't control it. In America, we could control everything. We just won't. I mean, you just look at the last election.
People are lazy.
Yeah, they are. That's the truth.
And brainwashed.
So, they are brainwashed. No, they are brainwashed. I'm kind of anti, mail-in voting. I'm a big anti. And the reason why is, first, it's your duty, people. You should get your ass out there and vote. So my thing is, if you're crippled, or if you're a veteran, or if you're overseas, or if you're working in the military, yes, mail-in voting's fine. That's maybe 1 million people. All these other, we're getting these millions and people. Mail-in voting is so easy to cheat. It's not even funny. Almost every election is going to have some kind of massive cheating in it. No, they're not going to know because they're never going to count. They're never going to try to find out. Mark, they're never going to try to find out. Well, come on. The Democrats are in control. You really think they're going to go, oh, well, guess what? We cheated. Get a break. Come on, man. You're smoking the good shit.
Well, we're going to see what's going to happen with Carrie Lake.
Oh, yeah, I did. Bring me up on that because I've seen it today, but I didn't have a chance to read the whole story.
I only got alerts today, so I haven't got a chance to read it either. But I know they started the trial, the hearings or whatever. What was it, Wednesday?
Yeah, because they were talking something about her chances of getting in or something.
And Katie Hobbs was threatening people to if they don't certify the election for her. She was threatening with the rest.
I think that one of the problems that Katie had something to do with the voting, that she could certify her own votes or something.
Yeah, she didn't recuse herself.
Yeah, which she should have done. I mean, so right there, that should have been enough. I mean, look, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know either woman. I'm not a fan of either one. I always get confused if it was the governor or the Senate they were running for. Because, all right, I live in Louisiana and Mississippi. I'm in 2 states. I got dual citizenship in both states. Mississippi is considered the worst state in the union to live in. That tells you how dumb Americans really are. Now, if you live in the middle of the state higher, it probably is the worst place to live. But where I live, no. Gulf South is great. We got anything you could possibly want down here. And New Orleans, all I can say is New Orleans is a great city. But by saying that, it's also a piece of shit. It's like New York. New York is a great city, but it's also a piece of shit. And there's no other way to explain it because that's what it is.
You have to have gone there.
Yeah. So if you're in the French Quarter, let me say, if you're a tourist and you go to the Vieux-Carré, which is the French Quarter, and you stay in the uptown area, which is, around St. Charles or down by Frenchmen and stuff like that, these are great places, great clubs, great stuff to do. You're pretty safe. You got to watch for pickpockets. But if you go outside those areas and you do not know where you are, odds are you're going to get mugged, raped, and killed. Yeah, see, New Orleans don't like people killing tourists. Big deal when somebody does. But still, the city's not safe for people who don't know where they're at.
DC's the same way. DC's got some really, really great places, but if you don't know where to go, you're going to get yourself mugged, shot, or killed.
Yeah, it's dangerous. LA's the same way. New York's the same way. And while we're on that, a little segue real quick. So, California is bleeding. And so is New York. They are just bleeding people left and right. I got to say, though, this has been a weird thing for me because usually when you see a state bleed, they take their politics with them. Well, a lot of the California people went to Austin, Texas, which is very good. But now it's kind of rare because a lot of guys came in and changed the way they voted. They realized the way they voted was not the right way to vote. Now, they're not becoming Republicans, they're becoming independents. But they realized, just like Cena and Tulsi Gabbard and them, realized that the Democrats are not the safe way to go. So they're willing to change. So we're seeing that change. That's why in New York now, even though Trump didn't win it last time and the guy didn't win the governor's race, the House is red. It's just like
I don't trust Tulsi and anybody with the World Economic Forum by any means. And then I think we need to eliminate the two-party system altogether.
Oh, well, we can do one of two things. We can eliminate it altogether, or we can put a midterm. What it really should have is there should be some type of mid system, a centralist system. There should be the people from on both sides that are in the center should work together. And the way it should work is the right and the left should only be 20% each or 25% each, meaning that they can't ever get anything done without the center helping them. Then you have a union.
That's never going to work.
Well, it worked great, actually.
It's like me going to family court with my ex-husband and co-parenting.
No, it's not like that because the two parties are so radically different that you would have to have the center. And a lot of times the center is not going to follow because right now the center doesn't follow. They want to lead. There's just not enough of them. There's too much money in the red and blue. That's the real problem. The center can't get that kind of money.
FTX.
There's another problem too, Joe. Like when I moved here to Pennsylvania, I go to the Pennsylvania DMV to get my license changed over, and most of DMVs you can register to vote. So I'm at the end of the line getting my picture taken for my photo for my license and deciding all this other stuff. And the guy's like, "Do you want to register to vote?" I'm like, "Hell yeah!" Vote's coming up. I want to get in there. It's like, "Well, what do you want to register?" And I was like, "Well, I'd like to register as a libertarian." He's like, "Great." He starts typing all the information. He's like, "Oh, by the way, as a libertarian, you won't be able to vote in primary presidential elections." And I was like, "Excuse me?" He's like, "Yeah, you have to be Republican or you have to be Democrat. There's no middle ground." I don't know how it is in other states, but in Maryland, I could be libertarian. And
vote here, independence. Yeah, you can go red and blue and independent. It is illegal, actually, but you have to take it all the way to the Supreme Court. But here it's red, blue, and
why it's legal here. I'll bet you it's the same in Virginia.
It's red, blue, and independent here, but nobody else gets to say because they don't consider them real parties. Mm-hmm. But there is a new party starting, and they do have a lot. It's not going to be successful. It's got a lot of money behind it. So if the money stays flowing,
if there's a lot of money, it's just as corrupt.
Oh yeah, it's just as corrupt. I can deal with the corruption. That's not the worst part of politics. Even with corruption, they still need the people.
Yeah, well, the worst part of corruption is politics. And look what we're dealing with right now.
Well, we're dealing with this, but this is when you look at our corruption in our country. This is 225 years of corruption is what this is. But if you go back just to Clinton, the two sides could work together under them. They worked well together under Reagan. They worked good under Clinton. Things got done in the country. Things made changes. They want change. Crazy Trump wanted changes, but he couldn't get the votes to do them. Biden, I hate to speak did of did. I hate to speak poor of the did, but I don't even know what's going to alive. I'm confused. His own party wants to pass a law that you can't run if you're 75 or over. So what are they going to kick his ass out? That's his own party. We need leadership. We need somebody. It wasn't Obama. He said, Obama's going to be the great uniter. No, Obama was a great divider. The last two guys that actually stood up in the country got behind was Reagan and Clinton. Everybody got behind him. They got behind Bush, but that was a cheat because we were at war and the liberals and Republicans got together and said, yes, we're going to do what we need to do to win this war because we didn't want to have another Vietnam. But that's the only cooperation they got. Everything else was still a farce. So since him until now, there's been no working together. If you have to have complete control to get anything done. And unfortunately, when you have complete control, both parties screw you royal. I should say they screw us royal.
They're screwing us royal right now. I almost want to declare invasion on the USA for the Ukraine flag in the People's House the other night.
Oh, Jesus. Did y'all see the video of Joe Biden squeezing Zelensky's ass?
That was edited.
Whatever. I
that's
don't care if that,
photoshopped.
that shit was funny.
It was funny.
I was like that. I said that pervert. It wouldn't even surprise me. He's getting the free feel.
Well, we got Ukrainian ambassadors on Twitter too, switching out the American flag with the Ukraine colors and even putting the Ukraine symbolism as the stars.
See,
like that.
My problem with all this is, it's going to flip off a lot of people. So,
Oh.
When I was originally asked about the invasion of Putin, I was like, well, it can't be no worse than when we invaded whatever country. And everybody's like, no, Putin's just. I said, Lazinski is not all innocent. I mean, the more I read up about this guy, he's just another shithole. He doesn't need to be president of that country. He's robbing that country blind. We know that from the dealings of the Biden. Well, yes, he's robbing us blind. How many billions of dollars we're sending over there?
What we're giving them is not charity. It's an investment.
It's an investment. What are we going to get back? His wife spent $40,000 in 1 hour to shop in Paris the other day.
That's what I'm saying. How much of this money is he funneling away somewhere? This guy's going to be a billionaire when this is over with. And him and Putin are probably going to go off laughing their asses off together.
Mm-hmm.
Ukraine's been a cesspool for decades.
It has been. We know. I mean, Joe Biden went over there.
Obama, 2012.
Yeah, that's when
whatever's happened in Ukraine was a trial run for today.
Yeah, so that's when Biden told him, which may come by and bite him in the ass now, when he told the you got to get rid of that investigator. I mean, not investigator, that district attorney. Take $1 billion. That's actually illegal in this. Yeah, that's illegal in this country. So now the Republicans have the House. We may or may not see something going on. 2 years, the way politics progress, 2 years is nothing. A normal investigation, you get a lot of shit done in 2 years. When it comes to the senators and all, they just, unless it's something that's personally affecting them, they're just whatever. But what's bothering me more than us giving Ukraine money and weapons, we're not replenishing ours. I don't even understand that. We haven't replenished our fuel reserves, which is getting insane.
We're also only giving them the old systems. I mean, the Patriot systems, and
Well, they ain't getting the Patriot system because we actually modernized it. They ain't getting there. I told them it'll be a long time before they see that because that can reach deep into Russia. They're like, no. And the system we gave them, that Halon or whatever it's called, that's actually a very advanced system. So what we did is we changed it to where it can only reach the border and no further. We had to make sure because, if they start lobbing missiles in the middle of Russia from something we gave them, the Russians might get a little pissed off.
But how does that work? If they move that weapon to the border,
you're right. It can go beyond, but they got to get it there. And right now, the Russians have those areas. See, that's what the Americans are counting on, that the Russians are staying there. And are we going to retrieve these weapons when this war is over? And what happens if Russia wins and gets hold of all this system?
These weapons are showing up in the Congo now. All the stuff that's going down in the Congo, our weapons are showing up. It doesn't
surprise me. We have put so many weapons around this planet that all our politicians will burn in hell. The hell of 1,000 skins, whatever.
We have financed and armed every weapon or every enemy that we've attacked and or been attacked by since Vietnam.
I mean, we put Saddam in power and gave him his damn weapons. Then say, you want to buy some Russia? That's cool too. And then we're gonna go over there and kill him. I'm like, oh Jesus!
Gaddafi. Name a guy that we've taken out. We armed the guy. We gave him the ammunition.
All these people that have in common, including Putin, is that they were getting rid of the U.S. dollar. So they were going back to the gold standard, and that's when all this stuff went to hell in a basket. And that's when we started. And in Libya, the Clintons were getting caught doing illegal weapon trades over there.
So, they're not the only ones. There's a couple of them got caught down there. We had the Grenada incident when the Great Invasion. It's just the U.S. is. I mean, we were trading arms for drugs. I mean, Jesus, come on.
This is high organized crime, everybody. This is not politics anymore. It's organized crime.
It is. Mm-hmm. What we're talking about tonight would be considered high organized crime. Unfortunately, unless you get someone like Trump, which is not going to get in, someone with his ego that wants to see this stopped. It's never going to stop.
It's not ever going to
happen. Yeah, and it won't. Even if Trump were able to start it, he would be assassinated by these powers.
Yeah. His problem is the Democrats have laid so many charges against him, so many allegations, they'll never be cleared by 2024. So he's out. And right now, DeSantis
let's see what happens to Biden.
DeSantis is polling way ahead of Trump, though. That's the problem. What's only scaring me is if DeSantis is polling 10 points ahead of Trump and he's going to win, and Trump decides to run as an independent, we're giving it right back to Biden.
He could, yeah.
Oh, that's what they're doing. If he declares that he's going to run for presidency, DeSantis, they're splitting, they're dividing and conquering the MAGA movement, and
that's what they're doing.
And the Democrats will win again.
Yeah, they'll win again because if Trump, his ego won't let him not run, so he'll have to run. So I mean, I don't know. He really loves the country. He seems like he loves our country. So maybe he'll stand back and let it go. I mean, DeSantis is a good governor. I mean, I don't know what kind of president he's going to be. He's a good governor though. And he does care about the country. He does care about the people to an extent. You know, what happens to these politicians, a lot of them start out good. A lot of them really care. There's a couple of senators I met in Louisiana that really cared about the state, and they wanted to see change. They wanted to get the crime out, and they did a good job getting a lot out, and they put a lot of people in jail. But eventually, even they get tainted.
Well, DeSantis, if you follow the money with DeSantis, the same organized groups that funded Obama are funding DeSantis. There's something not right, and I don't know if he's really that popular outside of Florida.
It's well, in the country, he's polling at 86% right now, so he's pretty popular. He's popular among Democrats. That's what's freaking everybody out.
That's a red flag.
No, actually,
like Mitch McConnell's popular with Democrats too.
Yeah, it's for a reason. But every now and then you'll get a Republican that Democrats do like. I mean, because they are really looking out for the best.
It's a rhino.
But no, these aren't like Reagan. Well, you couldn't call Reagan a rhino.
I think Mitt Romney might run again.
He is, but he's going to lose.
Did he say it?
He said. Well, he's thinking about it. He said if he does, he's going to win, but he's going to lose. He couldn't beat DeSantis. Right now, nobody could beat DeSantis. Nobody on the Republican side, nobody on the Democrat side could beat him. He's now. This is 2 years away. Anything can happen between now and then. His wife could die of cancer. He might just say, "Screw all y'all." Somebody else might make it known. They're trying to get Newsom to run, but nobody likes Newsom. I mean, come on. California's losing 200,000 people a year since Newsom's taken over. No, nobody wants him to be president. And even the Democrats don't want him to be president. They talk about Kamala. Jesus, anybody could beat Kamala. I could run and beat Kamala.
Well, we got Joe Biden having the most votes ever in presidential campaign without beating Obama and Clinton. Come on now.
This is what killed me about the whole election thing was when I went to bed, Trump was just murderizing. I mean, it was 1 o'clock in the morning. We'd been working the election all night. He was murderizing. So Trump pulled the largest vote in any Republican history, the largest vote of any Republican history, and votes period in Republican history. And here comes Biden, and got one of the lowest black votes and one of the lowest Hispanic votes, but still somehow pulled out a 4 million vote lead. You got to wonder about that. You just got to wonder. I mean, but I blame Trump for this, not Biden. Because Trump said for a whole year, they're going to cheat, they're going to cheat, they're going to cheat. Well, you know what? Your ass should have made sure you had people in every precinct so they couldn't. That falls on him. That tells me he ain't as smart as he thought he was.
No, he did have people in those precincts.
No, actually he didn't. We found out after the election there was places where there was only an independent and a Democrat. We also found out in Pennsylvania on 2 different occasions. So the first
That's
one
what I'm talking about is Philadelphia. Because I'm the majority inspector friend.
Yeah, so the very first one happened. They said there was a major pipe incident where there was a blowout. And so everybody left. And then 2 hours later, the Democrats came back and pulled up with some boxes of ballots they came in with. So no Republican went back. That falls on them. They should have had somebody standing there watching that the whole time. What it actually turned out to be was a toilet got clogged up and overflowed. So Trump lost how many ever votes because his person didn't go back. And that's happened in 2 different precincts. It was definitely a cheat. But because they didn't go back and check, because all they had to do was walk in and count, and all they saw was Democrats in those boxes. That was it. They had them. That was done. It was over with. They would throw all them votes out, regardless how many people were legal or not. They would have thrown them all out. But they didn't go back and check. That falls smackly on his ass. He should have. And it's not the only place. There's several other places where Republicans just left before the count was over. So were these people being paid off or something else was going on? But that falls on them. I mean, that he spent a year talking about they're going to try to cheat. They're going to try to cheat. Well, you know what? We know they were going to try to cheat. You should make sure they're not going to cheat. You should have really made sure you had big people in right places all the time. And sometimes I think his ego gets the best of him. Even though I love him, I think his ego gets the best of him sometimes. Too much of that television show.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's got a lot to brag about. I mean, he had a 3.3 GP. He had lowest black unemployment in the history of the country, lowest Hispanic history in the country, close to the lowest white in the history of the country. I mean, the country was running smooth. Our enemies were at bay, and everything he predicted that was going to happen if he wasn't president happened. So he's got a platform to run on, but I don't know. First off, the media is going to just nonstop. You're going to hear, the Jan 6 thing, and he should go to jail. Jan 6 thing, he should go to jail. Until he's clear to that, he can't be president. He can run. He can even win. He's got to be clear. He's not going to get the votes as long as it's hanging over his head. It's not Hillary
Twitter
Clinton.
files is clearly showing the corruption behind all that.
Yeah, there's tons of it. There's tons of it, but the problem is liberals aren't going to get it. It's not going to be on NBC, ABC, CBS. They're not going to see it. So half the country is just not
watching that. I thought CNN's bankrupting.
They are
still watching that
people
stuff.
Are still watching it. People, and NBC's huge, and they're not as big as Fox, but they're huge. People watching. There's a third of the country probably watches NBC. So
yeah,
and it's Ziegler's. It's
I don't know. I got rid of the news when Obama got his second term, so I haven't watched any. Now, I didn't even know who Carl Tuckerson was until 2 years ago, and then I just follow him on Instagram and Facebook and see his clips. But
he's and Fox had the top 13 shows. They clearly are whooping everybody's ass, and clearly they got more people watching. But clearly those people aren't going out and voting. Because if they would have went out and voted in this midterm, it would have been a landslide. But they didn't. They stayed their asses home and did whatever. They kept hearing. And I told this to people a long time ago. This has been going on for 4 years, but it's longer than that. When you start hearing the polls saying, it's going to be it's not. They don't go vote. You start thinking, there's plenty of people going to vote. I don't need to go out and vote. And a lot of people are thinking that way, and they don't go vote. And you could clearly see this in this last election. They just didn't go out and vote. I mean, we won the houses in a lot of places, but we lost them in a lot of places too. Yeah, they lost 2 governors, and 2 senator seats, all because what? And they barely took the House. But the thing about this is, if you go back to the last election, the Democrats barely took the House with 7 seats. The same thing the Republicans did, and the House and the Senate's been a flip, at 50, 51 votes now, either side for 10 years. The country is polarized big time. And right now it's the independents that's making a decision because the Republicans or the Democrats aren't coming. I mean, what was it? 33% of registered voters for either party came out and voted. It's depressing, actually. Wait, what is this? Who just sent me this? Carrie Lake? What about Carrie Lake? I don't know. You have to bring me up to speed on it. I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm marginally involved in that. I've got her up on here on Google, but I haven't really been able to look at her much. But apparently, there's some.
They definitely got the trial going.
About fraud on her trial, or not trial, her campaign, corruption.
I haven't read anything today. I was looking up that omnibus bill that people were talking about because there's funds for Pelosi Foundation in that omnibus bill, like millions of dollars for Pelosi.
How these people go to jail over these so-called? I just don't know how they don't. I mean, like with the foundation, Hillary Foundation had paid for her daughter's wedding. Somebody should be in jail for that. You can't. That's not what that money's for. And then we find out that Hillary, this has always bothered me, and the news media never talks about it. Hillary sold 20% of our uranium to Russia.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what was that about? And what military decided to go along?
Yeah, I mean,
they're all colluded.
It had to be under a bomb because every Republican would have went along with that. They'd have been like, "Are you talking about something?"
The love of money is the root of all evil.
They're definitely. What was that, Bradley? No, seriously, no. You can go look it up for yourself. She cut a deal with them to sell out 20% of our uranium.
So if we can't get rid of the 2-party system, we definitely need to have term limits on these people. 3 terms.
Term limits. What I don't understand is any American can go out. So there's a website y'all can go to on the government site, and you can put up a survey or a poll. And if you get over 100,000, government has to do something. So they can actually put it on the ballot. So like in 2024, it could be a ballot listed thing and everybody in the country could vote on term limits. I guarantee you most Americans are going to vote for term limits for any branch. Well, president, we already has term limits, 8
Yeah,
years.
it's already got two.
I don't
So
understand. So we give the president an 8-year term limit, but we let senators and Congress people run rampant. So my solution is 12 years for the Senate. That's 2 terms, and 6 or 10 years for the House, which is probably how many terms? It's every 2 years, so that's like 5 terms. If y'all want to make it 12 years, it can be 12 years for both houses, but no
So
more.
here, real quick, I want to say this really quickly.
Yeah.
In this omnibus bill, 3.6 million is going to Michelle Obama Trail, located in Georgia. Also, a chunk of its portion of this omnibus bill is going to go to the Ukraine Independence Park. That's going to be in D.C. I'm telling you, we're under invasion, and everybody's sitting here. Then another big chunk of it's going to the Speaker Pelosi Federal Building that will be located and created in San Francisco.
I
think we're being invaded. I honestly do. Not like how you think war crimes are. I think this is a different war that we're in. And literally, we're being invaded, and our government is handing us over to this stuff. It's treason.
It is, but right now, whatever's going on is going to they split the bar, so everything's going to slip like that. Let's see what all comes out of these. So, the Republicans put up what they said happened on Jan 6th, and the media is going crazy because the liberals said that he committed treason and he needs to go to prison. So what gets me about this is nowhere, you can't find it in any media, not Twitter, not Facebook, not any speech, anything that he talked about. Everything he says is, go home peacefully, don't riot. He says it over and over and over. Yeah, it is. And it goes over and over and over.
Never once said storm the building. Never once.
So then they said, okay, well,
law and order.
He threw something at the driver because he lost. He had a fit. You know what? I guarantee you a lot of other presidents, when they lost, were throwing shit around the office too.
Yeah, you just didn't see it on camera.
Yeah, so and it's just bullshit. So we'll see what their 3 I don't think they got anything on him. It's just like the tax thing. It looks like the tax thing, they finally got his tax things and now we're going to release him. Well, why ain't you going after him? Why ain't you prosecuting? You've been after his tax thing because there's nothing there. It's like when Rachel Maddow got him that night and she was like, because there was nothing there. There's going to be stuff there.
Chicago?
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, but don't get me wrong. There's going to be stuff in there that's going to piss off average Americans because of how much money he spends. But as far as criminal stuff, no. And he doesn't even do his own taxes. Going after him was a waste of time anyway.
Well, when was it that Chicago went after him for taxes? And then Chicago found out that they actually owed him $1 million.
Yeah, and then New York went after him. Chicago went after him. The feds are after him. It's just really and truly at this point, it's wasted American money. And they showed how much money was wasted on the Russian collusion deal. And who should be paying this back? They're saying the Democrat Party should have to pay this money back.
Or at least Hillary Clinton should pay us back.
Yeah. I still don't understand why nobody's going to jail. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of people went to jail over that. But, first off, everybody that went to jail in Trump, that was illegal because the whole thing was illegal. It was a completely illegal thing by the FBI. So these guys get out, whether they're in jail or not, when they get out, they're going to get a lot of money. Because the FBI way overstepped their bounds. So giving illegal FISA warrants to the courts is enough to get anything thrown out. But what I don't understand is where's that FISA judge at? Why isn't he furiously pissed off? Or she's furiously, because he might be a lady. I mean, either way, whoever that FISA judge is or judges are should be having a conniption fit. I mean, the FBI signed off on evidence that they knew was fake.
Well, nobody's even talking about Comey anymore either. Like, Comey has a big role in all this, and
But
lied.
you know why? That's why Comey resigned. Comey was smart. He knew if he resigned that he could stay out of this, and he probably wouldn't end up in jail. These other people, though, and that's why the rest of them resigned just recently, because they knew these investigations were coming, and if they're out of the FBI, odds are they probably won't end up in jail. They may lose their pensions.
They have to be held accountable. It's if they go through the court, but
how are you going to hold accountable?
The judicial system is a mess too.
Well, the problem is Republicans can say all day long we think they lost, but the DOJ is a liberal. He's not going to take them. The only way he can do that is if the Republicans win in 2024. and the DOJ becomes Republican, then they can go after him. But until then, and Rosenberg, I mean, what's his name, Fat Boy, he went after a lot of them for Trump. And a lot of people went to jail, but still, and liberals didn't want to talk about it because, a lot of liberals went to jail. But, for Hillary, everyone around Hillary went to jail except for Huma Abedin, Cheryl Mills, and her. But everybody else, the guys who owned the firm, the company that had all the servers, the guys that did the email scrub and all that, they're all in jail, all of them.
What happened to that? Remind me of laptop. What happened to Wiener's laptop?
Oh, there's copies of it floating around. The FBI got one. A couple of people in GOP's got copies of it. There's a lot of crap on there, But he went to jail. They put his ass in jail. Somebody said, well, high-level Democrats never go to jail. I said, yeah, they put Wiener in jail. But Huma Abedin didn't go to jail, and she knew it was on a laptop. I mean, she actually had taken that laptop in the plate. And think about this. Here's a good one for y'all.
Yeah, but he just went to jail for like 18 months for sexting or a minor.
Yeah,
it was for sex scandal.
For sex scandal. But the laptop had been taken in by the FBI and eventually was given back to Huma Abedin. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, Huma Abedin is Wiener's wife, if y'all don't know what we're talking about.
Was it really given? I thought they still had it.
No, they copied the hard drive and gave it back to her because it had other materials on it. They may have actually scrubbed the material off of the laptop and then gave it back to her. Usually they don't keep your materials because they can download it. They don't have to have the physical laptop anymore. And like the stuff on Biden's son's laptop, several people have copies of it because the guy in the store was smart and made a copy of it and gave it to people. Because if not, the FBI would have got it. We'd have never known what was on this thing. But he also sent it to the New York Times, and the New York Times talked about it. So the FBI is out here telling everybody, "Oh, don't use this because it might be Russian." But the New York Post and the New York Times are both going, "No, this is serious. We need to talk about this." And this big guy they're talking about is probably Biden. But the FBI went and talked to them too and said, "No, settle down now. We don't want Trump to be president again, so let's not talk about this." And there's been enough polls done now to prove that if this would have been released 2 weeks before the election, Biden would not have won this election. Our president would be Donald Trump right now.
Could he even win because it would be an investigation? Or could he even run?
He can run on the investigation. You have to be proven guilty before you have to have a felony on you. So even if you run, and that's the other thing, if you win and there is an investigation, they can't really throw you out of office. You have to want to walk out. Unless 2/3 of Congress impeach you, they can't even get you out of office, even with a felony warrant. You don't even have to go to court. You're too busy running the country. So they can actually, now after it's over with, unless there's a statute of limitations, then they can go after you. But that's if they have control, and the Republicans don't. So, or the Democrats, it's really comes down to now who controls the presidency and the FBI. That's what it comes down to now. And Cheryl Mills should have went to jail. Huma Abedin should have went to jail. Hillary Clinton should definitely be in jail. She's the one that brought the Russian dossier to the edge. I mean, she should. That woman's insanely guilty, and she should be in jail.
I mean, just the Whitewater thing from the.
No, let's not hate on Bill. Bill was okay. He was okay. He let Hillary do everything. Who do you think was the boss in the family? Now, he ran the country. Hillary didn't run the country, I can tell you that much. But he was the boss. I mean, she was the boss. He wasn't the boss. She still is the boss. So let's talk about something on a nonsensical kind of stupid thing. So the NBC puts out this news clip a couple of weeks ago of Paul Pelosi and Paul Pelosi's lover and the maid. Okay, so the original story was it was 2 naked men running around the house, and the maid called it in because she didn't know what was going on. Okay, so when they got there, the glass had definitely been broken from the inside out, like somebody threw something, maybe missed somebody. It was outside. The guys were both naked. This is what the report said. NBC reported directly from the police officer. Not even, and it hit the internet and it stayed up. Not even 2 hours, maybe 3 hours later, it was pulled, and it was pulled on the entire internet. So first off, you got to have pretty big power to do that. That's just not. That's not Joe calling up and say, "Hey,
you don't have any power to do
that."
Yeah,
so what happened was Nancy called and said, "You better get this story off immediately, or there's going to be hell to pay."
George Soros.
And they freaked out, and off it came. So everybody else reported the article as the 2 men were there. So y'all do know the supposable breaking guy did not go to jail, right? He's not in jail. He's not nothing's going on with him. As far as I know, he's running around free. And trying to get real information from the police in this story is like pulling freaking teeth. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. So basically, what we found out is Nancy Pelosi's husband has a gay lover.
Well, I don't blame him.
I don't either.
In many ways, I don't blame him.
You know, I seen a meme today. It was great. It showed Bill Clinton's got this really funky face, like, oh my God, like it's the end of the world. And they said, what's that face about? And he said, well, here's Donald Trump. We're the same age. And he's got Melania, and I've got Hillary. I mean, well, you know, you had a lot of people along the way. You should have just divorced the crazy bitch is what should have happened. And she
they won't divorce if they stay together, so they don't testify against each other.
Yeah, and they're never going to divorce. That's never going to happen. Now they got their kid wrapped up in this shit. She won't run for office, though. They've asked her a couple of times. She's, I don't want to be a politician. She's seen so much of the nasty side that she just doesn't want to.
She lived through it as a teenager.
Yeah. Now maybe her Jewish husband might. I don't know. Maybe he will. But it's it's hard for Jews to run because there has to be a separation of church and state to run for politics. You have to be able to separate religion from your politics. Well, Jews can't do that. So, they have their holy days. They have to go to church. They have to do certain things every day. And they have to do this on Saturdays. And if they don't, then, basically breaking with their faith. So if you come, which has never been, but if you come one, it's just not going to work because you're not going to be able to separate church and state. I forget one who was Lieberman. Somebody ran. And one of the first things they said, well, you got to do this every day, Saturday. You do this every day. President, and he's like, well, no, I have to. And like, yeah, well, you can't. So separation of church and state. So, but the sad part is, like Kennedy, he never separated his church and state. He was a devout Catholic. He's definitely one of those groups in a Catholic. I don't know who his dad was part of, but they were definitely
Roman Catholic.
Yeah, they were Roman Catholic, but I mean, I don't know who the dad was hooked up with. I don't know who it was. Maybe it was the Bilderbergs, maybe it was the Masons, maybe it was somebody else, maybe it was one of the other groups. But he was definitely hooked up with somebody, and because they came out of nothing. I mean, nobody.
Mobs. I mean, they were running rum for the the Chicago mobs in the Prohibition era.
Yeah, because they came out of nothing to where all his boys were doing well. One of them became president. One of the other ones who got killed would have probably been president, and here comes Bobby would have been president too if he wouldn't have got killed. So
yeah,
I mean, he has three different.
He was running for president, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, he was running for president. Yeah, the other one got killed in the war, but that was the first brother that was going to run before JFK was going to run. So everyone in that family would have been a president if fate would have been nice to him. And look at Kennedy. What was it? Teddy Kennedy. He would have tried to run, but then he killed that girl in that drunken accident, and that pretty much ended his career.
Be a senator.
Yeah, so he all he could be was a senator. He was never going to be a president. So,
did you all read any of the JFK files that were released the other day?
No.
I did. I read a lot of it, and I confirmed, in my opinion, it definitely tells you that the CIA killed JFK, and then Robert Kennedy Jr. Posted on Twitter, and he confirmed it.
Well,
he's like, we can officially say.
I'll tell you who actually killed Kennedy. The FBI was a part of it, but they didn't actually kill him. Well, it was kind of a downtrod thing. Went from one agency to other agency, then they approached Carlos Marcel, and I know for a fact because Carlos sat there and told us at dinner. His family was the one that was the largest mafia in the United States, and they said, look, we need this to be taken and not to be followed back for us. It can't be followed back. And they made sure it wasn't. And that's why the district attorney in New Orleans played such a big part, because he knew who had done it. He knew the agencies were involved, and he knew the mob was involved. This is the first time, well, it's the second time that I know of that the agencies, the alphabet agencies, I like to call them, got involved with the mafia, because they got involved with them in the Cuba thing too. But there's no doubt who did it. The whole family knows it. It's a regular story down here. If you know anybody in the family, it's just a regular part of their history. They don't deny it. There's no way you can do anything about it. And they talk about it in a great deal. They talk about the people involved, there are three shooters that were actually there. They even talk about the locations where they were. They're very specific.
They released a lot of documents on Lee Harvey Oswald, indicating too that they just used him as an scapegoat. Or
there's a great picture of Lee Harvey Oswald on the sidewalk in front of the front door steps to the book depository building, and JFK is right in front of him. There's no way that a mediocre shooter ran up those stairs, ran up 6 flights of stairs to that sniper's nest, and then cooked off 3.5, 4 rounds in 11 seconds and getting a headshot. Now, did you also hear about that there was a CIA agent on the presidential detail?
Yeah, well, I think
he's the one that scored the headshot.
They
with an M16.
Nah, that wasn't an M16 shot. I can tell you that now.
Yeah, it was. I don't know if you've seen the book, and I think it's called the One Bullet or One Gun Theory. It's a new book from a guy in Baltimore, and I can't remember the author's name, but there's a either Texas or Arkansas investigative reporter, Boninger Menninger, who's got a great documentary out. One of the documented wounds on the back of his head is a very, very small opening that's like 4.5 or 5 millimeters in diameter, which is the exact diameter of .223 ammunition.
And are you talking about Mortal Error, the shot that killed JFK, about Howard Donahue?
Yeah. First off, the M16 didn't even come out for another year or two after he was killed. Now, maybe somebody had
of that gun on the scene in that day, and there's only one picture of it, but there is an M16 in the car directly behind Kennedy.
But a normal M16, the way it would have entered, would have blown the head out completely.
This was
I've shot M16 several times.
What was this, Jay? I'm sorry, I wanted to hear what Jay said there. Yeah. What was it, Jay? What kind of gun?
The version he had was the Car 15, the civilian version, but it was the first version. It wasn't the A1 or the A2. It was the one that had Bakelite scales on it, Bakelite foregrip, Bakelite handles. So it was the one that failed in Vietnam. But there is one picture of this. He's a former CIA agent who moved over to the Secret Service. He had been on the detail for 1 week, 7 days, without any extra training on how the Secret Service does stuff. But he was put on the presidential detail immediately. He's in the car directly behind JFK. What happens is when the first shots go off, he stands up with the M16 where they get the picture of him. And then the car either lurches forward or stops. And he either falls backwards and cooks off a shot, either accidentally or on purpose, and nails Kennedy right here. And that's the only documented wound that's small, which also blows off the side of his face. There's hundreds of pieces of copper inside his brain, which is documented on the x-rays. Mm-hmm. And even more importantly, the bullets that also hit him were from the gun they say was Lee Harvey Oswald's gun. The bullet that comes out of that gun is as big as the first 2 knuckles of your pinky. It's huge. It would leave a 12 or 13 or 14 centimeter circle in the skull. And there is one of those in the back of Kennedy's neck.
You got a couple of problems with that. First off, the M16 didn't get debuted until 1964. Secondly, the shatter version of the M16 didn't come out till 1971. Before that, if you shot somebody with M16, it was pure straight through. It was going to go straight through, front and back. It was going to go all the way out. They move at such a high velocity, it just goes straight through. They're almost armor piercing the way they go through. So, I'm telling you, so I've shot them many, many times. I've shot several different versions from the M15.
But
I actually started with the M14.
The M16 was designed in 1959. It was just entered into the military service in 1964.
In 1962. The M15, which he was talking about, was entered into military service. The real M16 was not entered until 1964, and it hadn't been around very long. It was a gun that we needed. It was what they call, sometimes the military has to do a quick gun because we're getting our asses kicked, or something like in when we were in North Korea, not Korea, in
Vietnam.
What was it? Not Vietnam, the one before Vietnam.
Korea.
Yeah, well, in Korea. So this gun we needed a gun. That one was, if it got stuck in the mud, you could shoot it. If it got dropped in the water, you could shoot it. We had issues because, when you're in a swamp trumping around, sometimes you might drop your gun. We needed a gun that you could clear the chamber with.
That was not the M15.
So they tried to come out with a high velocity gun that would do that, and it was not the M16. Unfortunately, the M16 would blow a barrel. It had a lot of issues. I know several people in Vietnam that used them. They were pieces of shit. They still are pieces of shit. That's why we don't use them anymore. We have different weapons. They're just a lot of problems. But the shells he's talking about, the rounds he's talking about, the first rounds for those rifles were steel rounds. So when they came out, they were designed just to. So because of war, most people don't realize this. There's actually a code. You're not supposed to have any kind of rounds that explode or shatter. They're supposed to go right through you. That's so that you preserve life. Believe it or not, even though you're killing somebody, they're trying to preserve the life with the bullet.
Well, not only that, Joe. Not only that. The other idea is that, particularly the gun that Oswald was used in World War I. They didn't have hollow points for it, but again, like I said, it's a very big bullet. It's big as your bend of your. That's how big the bullet is. It flies out of the gun. It's huge, but it's designed to pass through you, the guy standing behind you, the guy standing behind him, and take out 3 people with 1 bullet. It's economics.
There is, and they're really good because they don't, like, if they pierce an organ, they don't tear it up. It goes through. It's easier to patch up. Now, weapons we use today are different. The rounds we use today are much different. They maximize killing. They're just like what I use in my 9mm. I can use a target round or a straight round that'll go straight through you, but most of the rounds I have are triggered hollow points, which just will rip the living shit out of you.
We'll stop inside your body and bounce around. Yeah.
In Kennedy, we know the bullet pierced. So it only took what it collected as it was going through, whatever pieces of brain, I hate to say it that way, that was collected. That's what did the damage. But because it was such a heavy round and it was made out of probably steel or something, it just
was definitely a hollow point because it exploded inside.
Yeah, but I don't know if that was actually what went on there. There's a couple of people that say what killed him was a 9mm hollow point, not a couple of people, because when the doctor talked about it, when the first doctor examined him, that's what he said. It looked like a 9mm hollow point. That's what he said it looked like. He actually said it looked like it had been fired from a Colt 1920, and it looked like he actually even knew the type of gun because he recognized the barreling on it, because not all pistols have barreling on it, just some did. People barreling is when you got a rifle, they barrel the rifle so
they rifle the barrel with spirals.
Yeah. So it makes it goes faster and longer. So there are a few pistols that are made that way. So when he seen the shot, and he said this, he said it on television as well, he thought it was a 9mm hollow point. That's what he thought it was, which would have made sense. If somebody was shooting at long range and somebody just lifted up and shot a hollow point, that was it. They knew they got it at close range. But nobody, it's hard to say because there's so many different photos of this.
Yeah, but there aren't any photos of a documented 9mm wound. They got the wounds from the Lee Harvey Oswald type gun, which is a 7.762 by 39, I believe. The Mannlicher Carcano rifle, which is an old style bolt action rifle, which holds 5 rounds in the magazine.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of an old bolt M1.
Yeah,
it wasn't quite as bulky, but it kind of.
But the wound I'm talking about, it's a very small wound in the back of his skull, and this is documented at both in Dallas and in Bethesda, the 2 places that took photos of these wounds. And that's the wound that's it's like right there, which they say was a hollow point 223 round, and probably copper jacketed, because in the x-rays of his brain, there's millions or hundreds of tiny little shiny metal particles inside his brain, small slivers of metal. And you can't tell it is copper through the x-ray, but whatever bullet that blew off the side of his ear was a hollow point, and it exploded in his brain and took his brain.
That's why I think it was a 9, because most of them were full metal jackets back then. It was rare to find a rifle bullet that wasn't. They weren't really made to be. Hollow points tumble. That's why they don't use them in rifles. And for an M16 to be shooting a hollow point, you'd have to be close. I mean, if you're more than 50 yards, that bitch is just going to start doing this. So it's not going to even make a pierce. It's just. And a lot of hollow points, when they hit the back, especially if they're triggered hollow points, as soon as they hit, they explode. So they don't even get to pierce the home. So it really depends. That's why I'm saying, for the time, if it was closer up to our time, I'd say you're exactly right. But being that it was 1963, a lot of that wasn't available for the average person. It wasn't available.
Well, like I said, this was a government agency.
But the CIA wouldn't have had it either. That's
well, hold on. These documents also confirmed that the doctor that deemed what was his name,
Jesse.
Jack Ruby, as insane, was actually a CIA agent, and he was also utilized in MK Ultra.
They well, the problem with CIA agents is they're not allowed to work in our country. So if the NSA catches them or the FBI catches them, they'll shoot them. They will actually shoot their asses right then and there.
Or they'll get tried for treason.
Well, no, they're not. NSA and the CIA do not. They don't like each other.
Do not like
each other. NSA. I'm sorry.
If they find a CIA agent, see, there's national security agency in the states right outside the country. That's why they're not charged in Area 51. That's what the NSA is. They're not allowed. They have to go through the NSA to do anything out there. because national security agent runs everything inside the country. CIA runs everything outside the country. Mm-hmm. So a CIA agent, if they even thought a CIA agent had killed Kennedy, they would have wiped out the whole.
That's what I'm saying. He was no longer CIA. He had moved over to the Secret Service.
Yeah, so Secret Service, and the Secret Service is kind of weird the way they do things. They're Secret Service is all the way around weird. I mean, because they're just in charge of presidential security, and they have to keep into all the alphabet agencies. Guys, we're talking about alphabet. We're talking about like NSA, Secret Service, which is SS. All alphabet, they all have an alphabet letter in front of them. So that's when you hear about alphabet agents. That's what we're talking about, one of those agencies. But the NSA is very screwy about the CIA. Anything the country, they do not like it. Korea actually executed 2 CIA agents in the United States in front of op. Executed them on site, and didn't get any trouble for it either. It's very strange the way things work in our country. And for some reason, those agencies always have been apart. They just don't like each other, which is good for us. FBI, on the other hand, is supposed to work in between them and take care of the little fish, like the kidnappers and, the potential terrorists and stuff like that. But if it's a big terrorist from out of the country, CIA is going to take them out, just like they did, almost did at Guantanamo. They kind of screwed up there. What can you say? Carlos, it could have been, I agree. It could have been any one of the agencies. I just don't think it was Oswald. I don't think it.
I think it was a little bit of everybody.
But there's so many. What's his name? What was the district attorney? There's so many letters between him and the FBI and one of the NSA agents that they know the mafia was involved. They have no doubt. That's why they put him in charge of an investigation. There was just too much evidence. But the problem was, Garrett, even as brilliant as Garrett was, the agencies so this is what went on. Somehow the mafia did this, and the agencies protected them. So by the mafia doing it, the agencies were protected, and in turn, the agencies protected them because Garrett could never get anywhere. He couldn't get close to any of them, not any of the agencies. And he had evidence out of Yang. He wanted to bring a trial up, and they told him no. That was I forgot which court was it. Oh no, the DOJ told him no for the United States. They said no. He said, "Wait, I got all this evidence. Let's at least have a trial. Let's see, if we should have a trial." They said no. That's what happens when you got that much power and that many. But what is it that Kennedy did that pissed all these agencies off at him?
Well, because he said he was going to splinter the CIA. Yeah, it's Operation Northwoods. He discovered what was happening. It was the FBI, the CIA, and the U.S. government came together to hurt the American people, our own people, and blame it on Cuba.
Poor Cuba.
So he says that, and like 2 weeks later, he's dead.
Pure Cuba, and then everybody's family. It's funny because poor Kennedys either don't get anywhere or end up dead. I mean, look at Bob. I mean, Junior, just disappears on an airplane in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And I know what's funny about that. Just a week earlier than that, he had said he had thought. He didn't say he was going to do it. He was thinking about running.
Well, you know who he's running against, right?
I don't remember.
Hillary Clinton.
Oh, well, that would make sense.
Hillary did it. If he's gone, I don't know.
There are so many shadow deaths associated to Hillary Clinton. I don't even know what to think about him anymore. I mean, I forgot.
Well, you know who Hillary's dad is? He took over the mafia in Chicago after Al Capone died.
Oh, Hillary! I know she worked for Nixon for a while, and until
Richard
she
Nixon,
turned
Bush,
on
CIA, FBI. They're all in it.
She turned on him. Now you'd be surprised how much our agencies hate each other. You'd really be surprised. I know when I was getting my background checks, they get nasty just swapping phone calls.
Probably,
for some reason, they just maybe that's why. Maybe after that they had a big split, but they don't like each other. They really and truly don't like each other. I got friends that work in two of them, and they're nasty. It's you would think it would be like a friendly camaraderie, like the Marines and the Navy. They're always fighting with each other, but they're friends. They're gonna, if somebody screws with the country, they're gonna all go kill somebody. But these agencies aren't like that. They're like, and they're very funny about jurisdiction. They don't want anybody crossing jurisdiction. They get really pissed. Matter of fact, they're not the only ones. The DHH and the Rangers are the same way. They do not. If you cross in their territory, they'll take your ass to jail.
I think it's all smoke and mirrors in many ways, because we see a lot of Democrats and Republicans fighting together, but we all know that they go eat together. eventually.
They do.
I think they're all colluded, and they demonstrate one way to the public, and behind the scenes there's something totally different.
They go out and hand it together, and they go shitting days. They sometimes even go on vacations together. But then you look which ones that are and which ones that aren't. It's some of them kids me. It's always going to be older ones. The younger ones are there to make a difference, even though they're probably not going to get to. Even, some of them might, but for the most part, most of them aren't going to be able to make a difference. The older ones are the ones with the money and the control and the power, and that's why we need. What do we need? People. We need to kick them out every 8 or 10 years, 12 years, whatever.
I say, they can. Depends on term limits, though, how long, but I almost say 3 terms. I say, here's what I think should happen is we do like 3 terms. That might give somebody enough time to be with 2 different presidents. Then they have to leave office, go back, connect to sit out, go back, connect to the people that they are. They can rerun again the next time and run again.
But see, that you shouldn't even let them do that, because first off, 3 terms for a senator is 18 years. So we don't want to.
That's what I'm saying. It depends on how many years.
What you do is you give them each 12 years. Okay, that's 6 terms for one, 2 terms for the other. But okay, you can't run again. But if you want to run, if you're a senator, you can go run for the House now. If you're in the House, you can run for a senator now. Mm-hmm. But you can't go back to the House or the Senate, because what happens is we see people like McConnell and Schiff build up, and they build up way, way too much power. Sure. And there's nothing you can do about them. They're too powerful. They have too many friends.
Inside trading too. And I think any
inside trading, which should be illegal.
I think any of them should be automatically audited if they make over 100,000.
Well, what's their salary now?
76.
No, I think it's 400,000 a year now. Or is that the president? That might be the president's salary. I get confused.
President. I think it's 76. I don't know. I might have raised up to. Hold on.
Of course, the longer you're in there, the more money you make. That's another thing I don't think they should be allowed to do. I don't think
the average salary for state representative is $73,294.
Oh no, that's local state. A regular senator's starting salary is $193,000, which means a House representative is probably about $160,000. But every year they get a 7 to 11% increase. So if you've been in like Nancy Pelosi, you're making more than the president is. She's been in 30 years, getting 11% every year.
Well, how much is her insider trading she getting?
Oh God, it's funny. What was it? One of my favorite ladies in town all time. What was it? Martha Stewart went to jail for insider trading for minor. But here's Hillary Clinton, all these guys inside in the Congress, and it's legal. I don't understand how insider trading amongst the Congress can be legal. I mean, and they made it legal. They're the ones that made it legal. We should make it illegal. As a country, we should say, no, you're not allowed to do insider trading. Look, that's not fair to everybody else. And what happens is now, a little bit hard, they just tell us, that's what just tell them all the husband, hey, you know what? Buy this, buy that. Sell your Bitcoin, buy your Bitcoin. Get away from what's his name. I mean, it's just sad.
So here's my I see the process now of how they get paid. So I think if they make an additional $100,000 a year, they should automatically be audited. I
agree, because they're making big money. They're there's money they're keeping. Who was that, Jimmy? No, he'll be back. His computer crashed. Yeah, he just texted me. Yeah, he'll be back as soon as he gets it back up and running. No, I agree. So my deal with this was always the same way. So you give them a base salary, you give them term limitations. You say the only way you get a yearly raise is if the people in your districts get a yearly raise. So let's say you live in Chicago and it's a 3% increase. Okay, then yes, you get a 3% increase this year on your salary. If not, no, you can't. If you're not putting your people on right now, the United States would fire most people, and we got to vote on their raises. Shit, most never raise. Plus, it's not just the raises, ladies and gentlemen. You get to fly first class or business class anywhere they go.
Well, they get to write off a lot of stuff.
Yes. Plus, they get health and wealth and a pension for life. Once you become senator, even in your first term, you get it for life. What? Get the out of here, man. If you can't make it 2 terms right now, you should 3 terms. You don't get no pension. Get out of here. If I worked for a company for 10 years and quit, I wouldn't get any freaking pension. They would. It's too bad, dude. You should stay with us longer. No, that's bullshit.
I don't see any hope in this country anymore. Honestly, after this past week and what happened with Zelensky and giving them more money and us and being in the position we are as a country with inflation and everything, I've lost hope a lot this week. I don't know if anybody else is. I always try to be hopeful, but I've lost. This was just too much.
Well, there's a lot that went on this week, but there's also a lot of good stuff that went on this week. The Republicans put out their list of the people they're going to go after, which is a lot of people you and I were talking about throughout the night tonight. They also want shifts. Guess what? Tax returns.
Oh, that's
so
good.
There's stuff. Yeah. So they're going to be a big fight over it. You can bet your ass on it. And they want other stuff. They're talking about other pieces. They actually said, well, they told Nancy, you wanted Trump's, we need to see yours.
Well, hold on. If they wanted Trump so bad, are we going to be able to request Obama's, Clinton's? Are we going to be able to?
Well, nah, because Obama made his public. Most presidents do make 5 years public. Just Trump wouldn't do it.
Joe?
Did I lose you?
No.
Okay, it was weird.
Did Joe Biden?
Hey, yeah, I don't know. They said he did, but I didn't look. I know the Bushes did. Both Bushes did. I know Reagan did. I know Clinton did. I know Obama did, but I don't know if Biden did. To be totally honest, remember how you doing tonight? It's oh yeah, they're gonna be. You'll probably get your stuff mailed out Monday. I got your stuff when it came in. You don't know if it or not. I'm assuming he did. I didn't assume anything, but did.
I think 2019.
So 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 1 and 23. He only gave him 3 years then. Yeah, because you don't want to talk about when you were over there with Burmese. That's why, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he don't want to talk about those tax returns. We need to audit him for 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs a 10-year audit. Well, no, guys, I mean, look, I think all presidents should have to put up 10 years, including Trump. Look, there's going to be stuff in there that's going to get him in trouble, not with the police or anything. In trouble with us because they're, hiding stuff or they made $1 billion and they only pay, $1 million in taxes. We're going to be a little hostile about that kind of stuff. Well,
here's something I encourage people to research this. And I'm just now recently, I went down a rabbit hole the other day, research straw man with taxes and paying taxes and federal and state taxes. Go down that, look up straw man. It's mind-blowing.
Wait, Christopher, what about COVID? No, we were talking about COVID in the beginning of the show. Yeah, go listen. We talked about a lot. We talked about Obama did, how Fauci sent it across. We talked about all that. No, you know what? I didn't talk about that. Well, because it's hard to verify. So supposedly, and I'm going to say supposedly, the CDC put out something 2 weeks ago. I did see the charter list. And it did say that there are more deaths now with the people who have the vaccine than without. So,
I saw that article.
Yeah, so I'm still waiting to have it verified. I called a friend of mine at the CDC. Actually, I called 2 friends of mine at the CDC and asked them if they could please verify it. I'm not going to use their names on here, but they're working diligently to try. So I get friends all over the place. People, I've been doing this for a long time. I make connections all over the place. And I'm an old FOB, so I make friends all over. Technically, I'm not a baby boomer. I missed it by about 2 years. Yeah, maybe 3. I'm a millennial, and millennials are as effed up as any other generation out there. Yes, they are. And then
it's the CDC website. I'm just looking on their website.
Yeah,
they should have
no, I'm an X-gen. I said millennial, didn't I? I'm an X-gen. My son's a millennial, so I was getting confused there. And no, my son's a millennial. Yes, he's old too. He's like 36 or something. Yeah, I know. Shh. How somebody's good looking at me got a 36-year-old son is beyond me. I have no idea. What can I say, people? What can I say? What can I say? I just know what to say about that. He's popped on camera from time. He's a good looking young man. I should say pops on camera from time. He's learned how to take over the other business, my daytime business. Yeah, he's old enough now. He's starting to learn the ropes. He's really learning about payrolls and how to deal with customers and stuff like that. Yeah. And he's bright. What can I say? I have other interests I want to get into. Yes, I do. Oh, yes, I do. And Denise, thank you very much. I like my beard when it's this color, but the TV people don't. Oh no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I have been on, I don't know, 3 dozen television programs and stuff. And just recently I did a thing for Netflix. It's got to be dyed when I do it for them. Oh no, they get pissed off. Well, they always say you can't see my face. You can't see my face on cam when it's white. And right now it's kind of salty, but it'll get white in a couple of days. Man, I earned them whiskers. What the hell can I tell you? I earned these freaking whiskers. Yes. I don't know. It pisses me off. No, yeah, no, I like that color myself. Well, my hair's still brown. Yeah. Let's see. Look. I had it down earlier. It's back to it's brown. One day it'll be gray. No, my beard's gray. I ain't going to even say why. Nah. We're just not going there tonight. We'll have to save that for a much higher rated television program than this one. By the way, I seen Tamara pop by. She was a winner of some of the books last night. She won 3 volumes of Writers of the Future. And we gave away 2 lightsabers last night, which we'll probably give away 2 at the end of the show tonight. Yeah, we've been giving away a lot of lightsabers, people. Oh, yeah. A lot of lightsabers. Yes. No, I'm not going to tell you what the question is right now because y'all go look.
So the CDC didn't come out and say that thousands died suddenly as a result of COVID vaccines, but what the CDC did was release the data issued over the last year, and it shows that COVID-19 vaccine has increased increased with persons' risk of death, and then they give the graph of the mortality rate page, which is OECD.stat.
And isn't it like 40 and under or 35 and under? It was weird because it wasn't the old people when I read it.
It was the young kids. It was a lot of children.
It wasn't the boomers. Yeah, it was It was surprising. Yeah. Well, no, people. I'm going to tell you about COVID. I got 2 vaccines. I've got it 3 times. The first time I didn't know I had it, and it was miserable. The other 2 times weren't even bad, but I mean it's like less than a cold. But I got the Masters and Johnson shot. I'll tell you what. Well, I got a bachelor's in science. So when I heard about this RNA research, I researched on it. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. So I researched Masters Johnson. They did a traditional vaccine, like a flu vaccine. They did traditional. So I went with their shots, and I didn't have any problems with it. Too many people were having problems with them RNA shots. No, I'm not hating. I mean, and it saved a lot of lives, but did it kill a lot of lives? I mean, I don't know. So I'm not involved with it because I'm not a vaccine expert. No, Jay's getting ready to join us in a second. I just seen him pop back in.
Okay, good, because I got to hop off for a second to send you a message. I'll be right back.
Yeah, good. Well, go ahead. I got it. I got it covered. Go ahead. Yeah, okay. I got it covered. Yeah, because there's something else I want to talk to you. Let me grab this over here. This other story over here. Hold on, guys and girls. Oh, you mean Katie Lake? No, she's claiming that there was a bunch of people disenfranchised. And she got a pretty good case. We'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. That's all you can do is see where it goes. Yeah, well, that's what lawsuits are for. Do what? No, that's really what he's for. And that's what I'm saying. Sorry. Let me see. I'll go back and look. No, that's not it. Hold on. I seen that picture that you sent me of the SR-72 Dark Star. Is it real or is it not? I will tell you this. I do know there are 2 high altitude, high speed jets that are being worked on. One is actually autonomous. There's no pilots. There's nothing involved. One, it does have pilots. These jets go into space and come back down into air, both of them. Well, no, the TR-3Bs are something different. They're more like an anti-drive, anti-magnetic or anti-gravity drive. There's some type of drive like that. They're not these type of drives. These look more like ram scoop engines. Yeah, well, they're very powerful. Well, they'll have engines for space too. There'll be different engines. Or if they can carry enough of the hydrogen that they're scooping, they can do it that way. It's interesting stuff, and they're fast as hell. They're supposed to really do Mach 20, Mach 25. They're so fast that they could leave America and be in Russia in like 35 minutes. There's no way the Russians could even stop them. They're supposed to have advanced radar so they can detect underground missile bases, missiles on the move. Anything that's got uranium and plutonium in it, they're supposed to be able to spot in under 15 minutes. They should be fast enough to shoot down airborne stuff like that. But we've got other really cool jets coming out too. The next decade or so, especially if we learn how to use fusion on them, yeah, build these little mini reactors to power our jets, they'll be super bad. Actually, that would allow us to put like carriers in space and stuff, or carriers in the atmosphere. Yeah, because our biggest problem of really doing things like flying cars or flying ships or anything like that is power consumption. In order to put a carrier in the air, you'd need 4, 5, 6 reactors running all the time. That's just dangerous in itself. This way, if these fusion generators work, I think it will change the universe. I'll change our universe for sure. For our kids and grandkids and great grandkids, they're going to see a whole different world than we do. Because in the beginning, it's going to be a little expensive, and then as it goes on and on, because once the reactor starts, it keeps going. It it creates more power than it consumes. Yes, so it's self generating. That's what I said. It creates more power than it consumes. So once you start, when you got it, so if you build a couple of big reactors, it'll take only 4 or 5 people to manage the place. Yeah, there's no risk of contamination. No, it's clean burning, no ozone, no problems with that. It'll change the world. Eventually, we'll have them the size that'll power our cars and power our homes. The ones they're talking about are going to be like the size, say, of like 4 or 5 18-wheelers, or after maybe the size of an aircraft carrier. And then they'll get smaller and smaller and smaller as we learn more. And then they'll make the ones probably about the size of a softball for your car, maybe a basketball for your house, and it'll run everything. Yes, with no bill. You buy it per install it, it's yours. It's free. There you go. You get power for life. And that really changes things, doesn't it? It also means the governments can't tax you out of existence. Well, I personally think it should be included on taxes. It should be free. Healthcare, energy, and stuff like that should be part of. You can pay so much taxes. It may be. I mean, we don't know until it comes. But it was such a major breakthrough. Well, we had heard about some experiments done. I want to say somewhere around the early 20s. A couple of companies had talked about it, but there was one group of gentlemen that had actually successfully generated it twice. And they were saying one about the size of an 18-wheeler could power New York with no problem at all. So you just park this thing or create this thing and put it in a building, and boom, it's powering all of New York. Instead of have to have this massive nuclear station, this fission station, you have this fusion station. I find it most interesting. I really think that it'll change the world in ways that we do not even understand. Well, no, it will. It will definitely change it. It'll change it in a way we do not understand. Oh, poor Jay's getting knocked out. Plus, the weather's bad up there to boot.
Sorry about that. I let my dog out. Listen to this. It is so cold out there. He came back in and he was hobbling, and I had to clean his feet off. And it literally looks like it's a little frostbitten place. Like it looks funny.
Yeah, be careful because you got to be, even with pets right now. You got to be careful with them because getting them out there. See, mine, I haven't lived with them outside, but I noticed even running around my house when I grab their paws, they're freezing cold. And the house is heated, but we're raised. Mm-hmm. So that cold air blows underneath the house. And believe it or not, there's actually 12 inches of wood, insulation, and more wood from the new floors, and it's still that cold.
Well, it's crazy. I looked at my phone now. It's negative 24 now in Kentucky. With the wind chill, and it's still blowing wind. It's a little bit eased up.
Oh, here's one for y'all on short fuse. President Joe Biden lashed out at team over lack of solutions to resolving border migration crisis. Biden, did you forget you put Kamala in charge of that? Did you forget about it? Yeah, you forgot. That's what happened.
Well, they're suing Arizona for the open border where they put the storage units, or what are those called? Those boxes, those storage boxes.
Oh yeah. I just said it went right out of my damn head. I know they're for containers, but anyway, that's what they're.
Yeah, and so the Biden administration is suing Arizona for them doing that.
They're going to lose that because it'll end up in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court's going to go, "Excuse me, you're letting them run across the border, Biden. Fix it." I don't know why this is such a hard thing to understand. I know why the liberals want it because they figure it's more votes. Because currently they say there's 11 million illegals in the country. Well, if those 11 million are voting, then that's the difference between Trump and Biden easily in a lot of elections in our country, especially out west.
Illegal, or dead people.
Or dead people. Chicago, for some reason, has the most dead people. They did vote every election. I don't know how they do it. Anywhere from 6 to 40,000 dead people vote every election in Chicago. It's amazing, and they eventually get counted out and thrown out, but not always. I mean, it depends on the election amount. They rise up and they vote. Maybe they listen to some Michael Jackson music and they get up and start dancing. Hey, we got to go vote today, and go down and vote. And then when they're through voting, they go back in the grave. I don't know, people, but it's crazy, and it's the worst state in the union for it. But there's something worse out in New York. So a lot of New Yorkers will vote 2 times or 3 times in 3 different districts, and then they'll drive over to New Jersey and vote, and then drive over to Pennsylvania and vote.
Well, just a real quick thing here. This is interesting too, that this is going to January 6th of 2023. It's finally on the Supreme Court docket. The Supreme Court will have a meeting to consider hearing a case that could overturn the 2020 U.S. presidential election. This has not been on mainstream. And then if you go to the Supreme Court website, you can find it. It's on their docket. And the meeting is on January 6th, 2023. The case is Brunson versus, hold on, I know this. Brunson versus Adams. Here it is.
Let's see if it's right, Jay out.
I'm back.
Oh, you made it back.
Yeah, I guess I must have been right. And the NSA heard me talk about that guy who shot Kennedy, and they sent a bullet and turned my computer off.
NSA, man, look, they listening to you. Probably, you know, Green Lanterns are always listening, man. What is this? Turnpike tragedy. Several dead after more than 40 vehicles collide. Horrific winter storm. Where the hell is this at? Well, y'all send it to me. Y'all and send me the damn where the place is. Come on now. If you're gonna send me articles, you got to at least tell me where it's from.
We need details.
Yes, I mean, come on. Ohio Turnpike, man. I hope it wasn't no Saints players in there, man. Come on now, Ohio. Y'all getting crazy out there.
It's always Ohio.
You know, Ohio roads are terrible. Florida, man. It's one of my favorite radio stations. Always has bits about the Florida man or the Florida woman.
Oh, yeah, Florida man.
They seem to get in a lot of trouble down there in Florida, man.
It's Dade County. It's Miami.
It's and somehow or another, what's his name, pulled that county. Nobody can even come close to pulling that county in 30 years. He did it like it was nothing. I mean, he did it like it was nothing. DeSantis is. I don't know why
I have family down there. There's a lot of conservative people that have moved to Florida but live down in Miami and Coral Gables area and stuff. Everybody I came across with down there, no, I wasn't at South Beach or anything, but those other areas, Key Biscayne and stuff, they everybody I met was DeSantis, Trump.
Mark, look, this is what I'm going to tell you about MSNBC, okay? MSNBC. So the whole entire time, remember, they said Trump was guilty of the Russian collusion every week. Oh, we got him. He's going to jail now every week. And then they'd have Schlussler or somebody else close to it. We got the details. He's going to jail. Went on for 3 years. Now, of course, we know all of that was bullshit. So I wouldn't really take anything MSNBC saying right now about January 6th. I'm thinking they're going to have a hard time getting Trump on January 6th. I'm just saying, guys. It just doesn't look. You have to remember that if the DOJ picks this up, this was partisan. This wasn't bipartisan. This was only Democrats. And don't try to tell me Liz Cheney, because Liz Cheney lost her seat. So this was only Democrats that did this. Yeah, this cost Liz Cheney her seat. I listened to a lot of it, and most of it was just rhetoric and bullshit. Remember the very first thing they said, oh, they beat that guy to death with a fire extinguisher. And what happened to him? Actually, he had nobody beat death. It was none of that. Oh, you heard in CNN was real bullshit. It just was rhetoric. And it was just rhetoric. Man, I'm tongue tied tonight. No, it just was bullshit, people. That's what it was.
Well, and
Don't get
see
mad.
that it revealed. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I
was cutting in and out.
I was just ranting. Go ahead.
Well, we talked about the FISA application and stuff earlier today, but that was one of the big first Twitter files that was released about James Baker. I made a post on it because I was reading through it, but James Baker was fired from Twitter about 2 weeks ago, I guess by now. And so who was James Baker? People remember he was in 2016, he was the guy that was heavily involved in getting that FISA application or warrant on Trump's campaign. He testified in Congress in 2018 that he was the one that reviewed the application and that he was heavily influenced by the Steele dossier. Then it comes to find out that James Baker was the attorney that gave the dossier to Michael Sussman. Michael Sussman was acquitted, lied, he lied and stuff. Yeah. But then you fast forward now, we forget about all that. So then what happens with James Baker? He's fast forward. He lands a job at Twitter to be the attorney to represent Twitter. And then he was the main person with all the conversations, the main guy that said the laptop story should not be ran on Twitter regarding Hunter Biden. And he's the one that also had influence in pushing some of the Russia gate to brainwash the people. And then guess who else worked at Twitter?
God only knows.
Fauci's daughter.
Oh, that doesn't even surprise me.
Yeah,
he probably called John, whatever his name is, and said, "Hey, can you get my daughter a job?" He said, "Oh yeah, I'll give you your daughter a job. Sure, no problem."
And Fauci, that's in Fauci's deposition. I was reading through that, and the Congress knew, I can't remember who was questioning him, knew that she worked there, and they had to ask him 5 times before he finally answered that. She worked at Twitter, and then Twitter releases the Twitter files, and it confirms that she did.
Exactly. I mean, Elon's he's not going to be the CEO of Twitter. No. I don't know going to be. I mean, it was a rumor it was going to be Trump's son, but I don't know if that was
fake news. That was fake news.
Yeah.
Trump's son.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's just a rumor. I don't know who he's going to put in charge. It's not going to be a liberal, I can tell you that much. No, you want to go through that shit again. And neither does the country. I mean, we now know both Facebook and Twitter lied to us through 2 elections now.
Instagram too.
Yeah, well, Instagram's owned by Facebook, so I just consider
Instagram's Facebook.
Yeah, and YouTube. Banned a lot of us.
On YouTube went crazy. Look, you can't. I could not say the word COVID for 3 years without getting thrown off a station or getting a warning.
CDC, we get banned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it's just stupid. No, again, it's like this is how you do this. So you got Fox on the right, you got MSNBC on the left. So what you do is you look at both these medias. Fox is a little bit more honest than MSNBC is, but they still a little biased. So when you look at both those medias, you make the middle. And then you probably are close to the truth. So if Fox is saying, oh, everything that they're saying is bullshit, and MSNBC saying he's going to jail, then it's more like, yeah, might have been some stuff, but it's not going to be enough to get him in any real trouble. And that's how that's going to come out. Because if NBC's making a big stink about it, it means they don't have anything. Well, they don't have anything. See, my problem is if you watch, remember all the leaked documents in the Trump case against Russia? All this stuff was leaked. And none of it turned out to be true, but all that was leaked. Well, you notice there's been nothing leaked in the January 6th trial. And you know why? Because there's nothing that makes Trump look bad.
Well, also the reason is that the Russia stuff that was leaked, that was all tied back to Hillary Clinton's servers. So anything that leaks on the January 6th is going to come back to Democratic computer servers.
Well, it's going to come back to, and now they're looking through all of Pelosi's text messages and emails and stuff, which they've said that she was held liable for not wanting any security there. Trump tried to get security there over and over and over again.
It's not just this. It's not just okay. So Trump offered her the National Guard. He said, "Look, if you're worried, I'll bring in 1,500 National Guard." This wouldn't happen if she would have listened. But it's worse than that because she's actually in charge of the DC police. There's a police chief there. No. There's a police chief. No. So the police chief answer in any crisis is directly to the Speaker of the House. That's how DC. Remember,
Well, it's
DC
just
is not a state.
it's just the Capitol Police,
Yeah, it's just the
right?
Capitol Police. Yeah,
No,
whole police
Capitol
department.
Police and the Senate Police are under the mayor of DC.
Yes, who is under Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, okay. That's
Okay, so she runs those police departments, and they've said this over and over and over. Even the liberals have said this. You know, she could have called in the police, and she didn't. And even if she didn't have that control, she still could have picked up the phone and said, "Hey, where are y'all?" Okay, and wait. And then the other problem: none of the cops there tried to stop the people invading. None of them. And there was enough cops there; they could have stopped. They could have pulled out some guns, popped some rounds,
They kind
and
of
the
let
crowd
them
would have
in.
stopped.
They kind of let them in, directed
They
them.
they just were, you know. And then, like I said in the beginning, all you heard was, "Oh, the Jan 6 people killed somebody." Well, no, that was a lie. A lot of what we heard about the January 6th thing was in the very beginning were total lies. It was just, and then we kept hearing Trump was on Twitter saying this, and that's why we jacked him off. And Trump was on Facebook, and now we found out that was lies. He said none of that.
The only person that was killed was a protester, a female Air Force officer, shot by a Senate police officer.
Babbitt.
Ashley Babbitt, shot by a police officer, a Congress building policeman, shot her one shot and killed her.
Well, I want, if anybody's listening to this, because I researched Ashley Babbitt heavily back in the day. I haven't looked at it in a year or so, but if anybody's out there, I had funeral directors even help me. I could not find her death certificate in Washington, D.C. or her state that she's from, California. We could not find it. We could not find her obituary. It's weird. The GoFundMe account that was created to collect over $100,000 for her to raise. I don't know. It's all weird. So if anybody's listening, anybody can find her death certificate. I'd greatly appreciate that.
So let's not forget Michael Fione was also killed on January 6th. Now they say he was attacked by rioters, but that's not what killed him. He first had a mild heart attack, and then he had a major heart attack later on.
Michael Fione, he's a CNN correspondent.
He's
alive. He was just on the TV the other day.
No. This is a police officer in DC. Yeah, he's dead.
Michael Fione.
But he died outside the building.
Yeah, he died. He died from a heart attack. But they originally said he was beat to death by a fire extinguisher. That was the original report, that he had been beat to death by a fire extinguisher. That was the first report. And I was like, wait, what? Because, somebody gets beat to death with a fire extinguisher, the whole police department's out looking for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not what actually happened. And then they didn't even tell us the truth. They waited, I don't know, like 2 months, 3 months before we actually got the fact that he had a heart attack.
Michael Fiona, or Fiona?
No, it's Fanone.
Fane. He's a CNN correspondent. He's right here. 6 days ago, he's in the paper, New York Post.
Yeah, that's just a different one. I'm sure there's more than one of these guys' names, but this one's a police officer for the
he was a police officer, and then he ended up being a CNN correspondent, and he's close in with what's his face that likes to go to all these war places and film documentaries. The actor. He's 43, made numerous media appearances such as CNN and MSNBC in the aftermath of January 6th attack. And then 6 days ago, he was in the paper.
They're saying this guy was 57.
Michael Fione.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. That's why you got to watch these freaking reports. This is on, where are we at? Hold on, let me see where I'm at to make sure. This is a Microsoft one. Yeah, this was one of the Microsoft ones. See, that's what I'm saying. This is one of the things that aggravates me about this shit so much. So, if we're going to police ourselves like Facebook and Twitter, maybe we should learn how to start policing the internet a little bit. Well, if they actually know a story's phony. No, I mean, regardless of what happened here, somebody knows the truth. So Microsoft's a big company. They produce a lot of information. They use a lot of Reuters information. So they should know the difference. So if they know the story like that, they should put a thing up here. They don't have to pull the story. They should just put a thing under it saying, hey, read this story. This is what actually happened. Void from the police department, wherever it comes from. That's how they should do it. But no, they just.
Here's how you do this. This is how you do this when it comes to these web pages, these websites. it first and foremost, it needs to have a first and last name of the writer, because that's who's taking accountability for that article. If it does not have the first and last name, if it just has a first name, it's probably not a good article to use as reference.
I've got the officer's name here. I'll put it on the private chat.
Okay, and then it has to have a date that is published and the timestamp that is published. If it has a date, if it doesn't have the timestamp, then it's probably a phony article.
Oh, this is at the top of Microsoft page. This is one of Microsoft's articles.
Okay, you click on it. What does it say? Does it say Microsoft staff, or does it give a first and last name?
Well, I got his whole description. It's got the officer, his name, the whole.
No, the author of the article.
Oh wait, hold on. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for the publish.
Okay.
I just clicked it on the other one. See, who is this? This is Klein Castorino, 4/28/21, 7:39 a.m. AT.
AT.
Eastern time. That's all.
Oh,
AM,
ET?
Yeah. I said AT. I meant to say AM ET. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's what it had on there.
Well, that would probably be a pretty good article. I mean,
now wait. Now, so I'm reading through here. So these first two paragraphs talks about his death, but wait. There is a video of him talking to, what is it, Don Lemon? Is that who that is? Yeah. So you've got an article saying this man is dead, but yeah,
it's clickbait.
They have a video of him on. This is the Hill, by the way. Has a video of him on here. Oh my God! I'm going to start drinking again.
I remember the Brian Sicknick.
I'm going to start drinking again. But yeah, so he's alive. Best I can tell he is anyway, unless I'm not paying attention to these articles. And you know where I came off of that from? MSNBC. So that was probably one of the original articles, and that's why they put the video on there to clarify it.
It's probably clickbait. And then
I'm gonna start drinking. Where's the booze?
Then some of these articles, it might be on the main page, but it'll give a business that they're from or another media outlet. And you have to look up these media outlets because a lot of them are registered as parody and satire, like that Real Raw News. Everybody posts about.
Yeah,
him
I mean,
all the time.
that's the Hill. The Hill's is supposed to be a reliable news agency. Supposed to be, as you hear how I said that. That's what they're supposed to be. Yes, people, we're going to give away 2 lightsabers in just a minute. As soon as I find out what I did with them. Well, where they were, product description. They're going to be, these are the same. So we gave away some last night, but these were different. Hold on, let me pull these up. Present, screen share, window. There it is. Okay. Y'all see that? There's going to be 2 of these given away. These are Anakin Skywalker from the 1977 series, okay, movie.
Ooh.
So that's what this is from. Now they're replicas, they're not real. They're $319.89 each. Yeah, the most expensive one we've given away so far is $900.
Holy
we're giving away 2 of them so far. Last night the ones we gave away were about $300 each. These are, I think, what does it say up there, $320 or something. So. I don't think these change colors, though. The ones we gave away last night changed colors. They have all the sound effects and all that lovely stuff, so you can torture your dog, your wife.
Luke's should be blue.
Yeah, so that's Luke Skywalker right there. So get crazy in your house. Let's see if we can.
Well, the subscription says Leah.
Does it say Leah?
Yeah, it says Black Series Leah Organa Force FX collectible.
Oh, because it's saying, it just says another Skywalker. Huh.
Taking a picture of this.
I got some friends to the right.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's not Luke's. I recognize the hilt. Yeah, got that big thing on the side of it. Oh,
Luke's original hilt looks like this.
Yeah, that's not his hilt. So, wait, what is this? Let me go back and read this down here. This character Star Wars Luke. Welcome became Jedi and Han Solo would learn more, blah, 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 blah. But she didn't have a damn lightsaber.
She didn't have one in the first 3 movies.
No. So this has got to be Luke's. 2-piece hilt blade, display stand, metal hilt glass blade, plastic display stand. I guess you can get the 36-inch long blade, which means with the hilt, it's about 40-something inches long. I I don't think this is one we're supposed to be giving away.
Yeah, no, that's Force That's Force FX. That's what brand the ones I have. But those are the Disney / Star
Hold
Wars.
on, I've been having a lot of links open lately. Let me go back and look, people. I want to give one of these away. Is this what I think this one is? This is the one from the series. Yeah, that's
the black saber.
So who has it right now? Mandalorian guy has it right now, right? Is that who's in control?
Mandalorian has the dark saber, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure because he was trying to give it away. No, this is not one we've given away. No, it's not on our list yet. I will ask the gentleman if he wants to give it away. Hold on, let me remove myself out of this. Where the hell? I had this link up last night. What the hell did I do with it? That's the sad part. Yeah, because we were giving them away last night. Oh, no, you mean Anakin's? Yes, we've given away Anakin. Okay, we've given away a couple of Anakins. We've actually given away Darth Vader's, and then we've given Anakin's when he was with Obi-Wan, yes. And then we've got one
series.
And then we've got it's not Doris, it's Han Solo's son, the one with the double blade. We've actually given one of those away. We've given away Master Windu. What's his name with the long hair?
This is Master Windu.
Obi-Wan's instructor, Qui-Gon Jinn. We're giving away one of his. Yeah. We gave away. I can't think of his name either. The one that killed. What's his face? The one he just said. I don't remember. He's going to hell and back. It's Qui-Gon Jinn, the guy who killed Qui-Gon Jinn. We gave away his lightsaber too.
Qui-Gon Jinn is Darth Maul.
Yeah, Darth Maul. We gave away his as well too. So. No, we've given away some really cool ones.
This one is the one from the 77 movie. It's Luke Skywalker's, but it also, before it was Luke Skywalker's, was guess who? Anakin, before he became Darth Vader.
It was Anakin, yes.
Yeah.
Anakin built it, and it was the love of his life, Anakin Skywalker.
Yep, and then he got in a fight with Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan chopped off his legs, his other arm, and took his saber from him.
So it's mine now.
Bionic man.
You should have just killed his ass right then and there. Would have been better off for everybody.
That was not the fate.
Yes, but he should have. It would have been the right thing to do.
But then we wouldn't have had the first 3 movies. It would have ended right there.
They could have used some other damn movie. They could have made some other damn movie.
It's been so long. I haven't watched them.
It's been forever. It has been for a while since I've seen any of them. Okay, whose is that? I don't know who the hell that is. Wait here. Let me put it up here.
That is what's his name? Well, it says Asajj Ventress, but also what's his name? Count Dooku had one that was crooked like that, like a cane handle.
Yeah, I was wondering who that was. Okay, let me get out of here.
That one's Asajj Ventress. It's one of the either a bounty hunter or
I'm gonna have to go into my damn history from last night and find the damn thing.
So how are we giving this away tonight?
We're going to give this away, and the question we're asking, we're giving 2 of these away, by the way, along with this. So y'all get 36, 37, 38 from Writers of the Future, and you'll get 2 of these. And all you have to write to me.
So one person's getting 2 sabers, or 2 people getting 1 saber?
It's 2 people. It's just going to be the person who number 20 that writes in with the right answer, and number 40 that writes into the right answer. Okay. It's a simple answer. All you have to do is tell me what was Emily's first appearance on the show.
That's easy.
I know.
It's easy, people.
Go, Jay. Go ahead. Get your fake.
I can't win it. They're just not going to
get
it.
Yeah, it can't be anybody who knows us or part of the network or any of that stuff, unfortunately. Yes, I've had a couple of my friends threaten me and you can give it to me. I'm like,
where's
no,
mine?
I can't. I said it's for our loyal listeners. It's not for our
Jay, get a fake name, get a P.O. box number. You'll never know.
Fake name, fake email.
So y'all look and see, and I can't tell you when she came on. That's cheating. That's like last night we did one with L. Ron Hubbard, and it tells you how goofy the audience is because Michelle put it in the ticker, the little ticket across his bottom. She actually put the answer in the ticker. It was L. Ron Hubbard. I was asking, I said, all you got to do is look at the ticker because we gave away 3 last night, actually, because we gave away one to somebody in the chat room. That's because we're just trying to get people in the damn chat room.
Everybody's going over to different outlets. searching my name.
I know they're like, where the hell? I haven't seen no winners yet. Well, I haven't even showed y'all what you're getting yet. If I can find a damn thing, it would actually.
They don't know my last name, so it might be hard if they go in and look up
Ooh,
Emily.
and you know what? There's more than one
Goodman's.
Emily. Yes, there's more than one Emily network. Ooh,
but if you look up the title of the show, you'll see her last name.
That's right.
Well, Jay, don't be telling them that.
But you still got to get the right date.
It doesn't tell them when you started, though. It just helps.
Yeah.
All I can tell you
at least you didn't ask who's buried in Grant's tomb. I mean, that'd have been a dead giveaway.
You know, so all you really got to do, people, is go to one of the archive sites and count backwards.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm helping y'all out, but it's got to be the first people. Oh, wait, oh, wait, we're giving away something. Wait, hold on. Maybe giving away something else. I might have been wrong. Oh, see, y'all might get upset now. No, that's not it. It's no, he does high quality ones. I mean, they're expensive as all hell. First time I met him, like, how much you want for that damn thing? Yeah. And he looked at me like, because he's like, it's $450. I'm like, whatever. Oh, wait, is this what he's sending us? Wait. Oh, telling me.
Well, I mean, even the Disney approved ones are like in the $300 range. So, I mean, they're not cheap.
Let's see.
Anybody got it yet?
So I am wrong. We're giving away 2 of the Grand Inquisitors tonight.
Ah, okay. That's
so
from the,
so that means that I should have made that a question. Where's that from? That would have been. No, I can't change the question, people. I just got to figure out when she came on. Hold on, I'll show you what they look like. Give me a second.
I'm looking up when I started too. I'll give you a hint. Can I give a hint?
You can give a hint, yeah. Because
it's really not that long ago.
No, it's only a few weeks. I just got to figure out. So this is the one we're giving away 2 of these tonight.
Oh, I like that.
They're regular, I think 8 or 9 or something like that. Let me look. $818 is the regular price on these. $818.
Wow.
By the way, this one does change colors. It has full sound effects. And you have to tell me now if you want to fighter blade or the normal way, because I have to tell them. So if you win, we have to write back to me and say, I want this blade or that blade. Difference is the fighter blades you can use. You can fight with people with them if they've got one. You can beat up a dog. You can chase your dog down. The other ones are glass, so they will break. So it's just all up to you what you want. These are badass looking, by the way. Yes, and each one of these comes with 3 of the Writers of the Futures books, volume 36, 37, and 38. Yes. I know. I wish I could win this one. Shit. I might tell him, look, send me one of them. I'll send another one out somewhere.
Well, I mean, if you're getting perks for the show hosts, you know, I like lightsabers. Just saying.
I like lightsabers. See, there it is.
I got the date when I started.
Okay.
So,
well, send it over to me.
Here, I'll send it in private chat.
Yeah, send it
because Joe doesn't know.
Oh, well, I was going to go look myself. I was going to give him a chance to go see. Well, I know how many weeks back it was, so I didn't know what date it was, though. Let me go and get in private chat. Where's damn private chat at? Or do I already have private chat open? That's regular chat. Where the hell is private chat going this damn thing? Oh, there it is.
It's up on the right corner.
I got it. I found it, yeah. Yeah, I got to figure it out. What month? All right, a gig month is Turkey month. Okay, you know what the Turkey month is? If y'all don't know that, I'm just sorry. For the people overseas, y'all might know what Turkey month is, but for all you Americans, y'all should know what Turkey month is. Canadians, for that matter, too, y'all should know what Turkey month is too, because y'all deal with this all the time. Turkey month is November, people. So it is November. Sometimes you figure it out. And
Pan, you don't know because they don't Turkey month there.
Yes, no, it's not Turkey Day. Whoever wrote that, no, sorry.
Oh.
Sorry. No, man, y'all are just bad. When? January.
What?
January for turkey?
No.
You being smart. January 2023. It's so we're time traveling. Okay.
Yeah, she started next year.
Yeah. Somehow she started next year and we brought it back to here. Yes, November is the right month, but you need to write a date. The next amount of Fridays in each month. No, you can't write more than one number. No, that disqualifies you.
Oh, that's going to be hard.
So you can only write the date.
There's only 4 numbers that they can use
on,
for November.
People. Gene Lewis. Well, wherever the hell you are, Gene Lewis, you got it right. Yes. Are you a
Oh,
guy or a girl? Gene? Because I didn't either way with that. So you are female. Okay. From where?
awesome.
Australia.
New Scots, Wales. Where the hell is that?
Where?
She said New Scots, Wales. Where the hell is that? I know where Wales
It's
is.
in Wales. It's in England. That's close.
Man, what is it? Man, we even no. This makes exactly half of all the lightsabers we give away. We have gone overseas.
They're going to other countries.
Yeah. Well, be sure you got to put me your address, the whole 9 yards. No, he sent them over here. He sent. Well, let me see. We've given away 6, 12, 18. I think 24 now. Or no, we'll be 24 total. I think. But anyway, I know 8 or 9 are going to other countries. Some are going pretty far as Australia too. I mean, yeah.
Australia, yeah.
New Zealand. I'm sorry.
Germany,
whatever.
was one of them.
Yeah, Germany, Mexico. I mean, they're going all over the place. Well, I'm glad to meet somebody in Wales. I'm glad you listened to our show, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
So you like American
Yes.
politics? Or you just like
You
we
know,
talk about all
some
kinds
of
of
those
stuff?
people over there are better than. They all know how America propaganda works.
Oh,
Well,
so
you're gonna have to send
like
a picture of her lightsaber when she gets
now?
it.
I shouldn't even say this on air. I'll have to say this.
Yeah, I
after the
like
show.
that, Jay.
I'll have to say what his last comment was after the show.
What is it? Rated R?
No, it's not rated R. But I'll tell you when we get off. Where? When? No. Hey Christy, how you doing? No, and y'all can't type it. It can't be in the chat. It's got to be at iCarCox.net, which I always forget to give out. Thanks God, most of y'all keep my email around. I remember one night. Good.
Oh, go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
No, I'm just glad people keep my email around because one night I just forgot totally, and I got some emails from people saying, "Where the hell was I supposed to send?" I was like, "Oh shit!"
If for doing a giveaway, you should put it in the scroll on the bottom so people can at least see the
I
email.
know, Michelle did it last night. I didn't think about it. So Gene, nice to meet you. Be sure you send all of your information. We'll be mailing it. Well, most stuff will be going out Monday or Tuesday because of the holidays.
Yeah.
Tamara, one of the winners from last night, she won some of the books from last night. And we'll give away some more books in a minute. Let's just wait till we get to the last winner. We're at 38, and you do have the right date, but you don't have the right number. You ready? Yeah. I can't say thank you. Yeah, get it in fast. Be typing fast. Yeah, you can try more than once. Yeah, you just got to beat the other people out.
So two winners have to guess the date. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, one winner left. We got one winner already, so there's one spot left.
So no one saw what that person. Oh, I guess you would have had to say it out loud.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
So here we go. Wait, number 40. You are wrong. So it's going to be the next person after number 40, because number 40 was wrong.
They only have 4 dates to choose from in November.
Okay, come on. Samantha Woods. Nice to meet you wherever the hell you are from. Yes, November 18th was correct. Yeah. Apparently somebody went and actually looked. Yes, no. We appreciate it. We appreciate the information. Where are you from? Oh, we were talking about Ohio or Toledo.
Is it Toledo?
Are you like snowed there or something? Well, you remember people. We may start doing these in the chat room so we get more people in the chat. But no, because my email is pretty functional now. A lot of people have it now. But hope you enjoy it. Like you get the 3 books, you will get. This is probably one of the nicest, one of the at least top 2 we've given.
That's badass right there.
Yeah, we're gonna ask about getting the one that the Mandalorian has and see if we can get that one given away too.
And our winners tonight, if you could send us a picture of you when you get your lightsaber, so we can.
Yeah, I've actually asked everybody who wins and on where you are, just send a picture of you out there chasing your dog down, squatting your husband, killing your wife, whatever. Just let's see you out there having a good time. Yes.
Well, we had 2 female winners tonight, right?
Yes, we did.
Ladies, way to go.
Actually, it's probably been maybe a few more women than it. We've what do you mean? Do I know? Oh, Michael. Okay, no. Our demographics on the show, it's about 50-50, yeah. No, it's about 50% men, 50% women. Some of the shows are different. You can see some are higher female, some are higher man. It just depends what the topic matter are. Women are not interested in some things that guys are interested in sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You mean UFO on the cover? It's there's actually more female listeners than male listeners to UFO on the cover. You mean because of the research? That's not why. No, there's other reasons. No, it's nothing like that. God, y'all are perverts tonight. Lord have mercy, man. Some of you people are just, oh my God. Yeah, maybe when I was
They're
30.
having too much eggnog tonight. Getting
Yes,
ready
I'm agreeing with that.
being around the family for Christmas.
Well, we're all right. I'll give away some books, but we're already late. Hold on, let me get this out of here.
Well, we don't have a show behind us, so we can run late if
No,
you
yeah,
want.
we don't have a show behind us. So I'll give away 3 more sets of Writers of Futures, 36, 37, and 38. Look, they're right here. I'm running out of these fast though. That's them right there. 36, 37, 38. There are 36 stories in here. Okay. And I will tell you a little secret about this. You can give them to your children to read or anyone from, I rate them PG. I don't, not even 13. There's no cursing in them. There's no heavy sex in them. There's no heavy blood and gore. But the stories somehow still are fun, scary, and interesting. It's amazing to me. They can be anywhere up to 17,000 words. There'll be artwork attributed to the stories as well.
Some
So
of the
you
artwork
can
might be a
get
little
them.
racy, but no nudity.
Yeah, they want it so that really so like middle school kids up can read. I mean, part of
Yeah.
Writers of the Future is helping bring literacy to the world, which is something we need to freaking do. And this is a good way. It's not a school way. It's not you're being forced. This is something that you can sit and enjoy. You're bored, thunderstorm, snowstorm, whatever. You're stuck in your house. You're tired of being on a computer. You can sit and read these. And enjoy them. So, what is going to be the question for the night? I could give y'all a hard one, like when I started radio. Y'all never get it
How
though.
about
So there's no reason to go there. Besides,
I got a good one. I'll write it in this private thing here.
What you got? Put it in.
Okay, let me see.
Let me get the private in here. What you go with? I don't see that yet.
I'm typing it in now.
Oh, okay. Now, Jay's got to have a question for y'all. Oh, that would be a good one. You mean the first story in the last book? Well,
There you go.
okay. Oh, what Dune
Oh.
actor came from Writers of the Future?
Not
Hell, I
actor,
don't even know.
author.
Arthur, I'm
I'll
sorry.
give
What
you the-
Arthur? I'm sorry.
I'll give you the answer.
Okay, Jay's gonna put the answer there because I have no clue. No, this is it.
Because he was one of the winners. John
Oh
Goodman
man,
told us
and
that.
I actually know him too. Sorry.
Yeah.
I've actually talked to him a few times. So, what Dune author came from Writers of the Future? Now, actually, there's a lot of people out there that have been involved in other movies and other stories, and the guy who put Dune together actually used to be a judge for Writers of the Future. Yeah,
Oh.
Frank Herbert, the original author.
yeah, the original author used to be a judge, and actually somebody in his family is now, and the new Dune guy is a judge for him. So, oh, there's some great people over there. But anyway, what Dune author came from Writers of the Future? You got a little while. We'll give y'all 10 or 15 minutes. I'll tell you what. We'll do the first 3 people who get it right. Yeah. So let me reopen my email.
Everybody's
Hold on.
Googling right now. Give them time.
I know they're googling the hell out of it. We don't. The first 3 that get it right. The first 3 got it wrong. So that's some pretty good answers, but that's not the right answers. We want you. We're giving these away. It's Christmas. We want.
And I just fact checked myself. The correct answer, Joe has it. So
yeah. So yes,
Go.
So go for it. Dean from St. Louis, you the first one got it right. You must have been googling faster than everybody else. St. Louis, huh? What part of St. Louis?
St. Louis.
The big part of St. Louis, the civilized. He writes, this is his answer, the civilized part of St. Louis. Okay, just make sure you put your address and where you live and all that so I can get it to you.
So
do you live in a part of St. Louis where, Memphis connects to St. Louis, so there's a bridge in between them. And no, none of our boats can go underneath there. It's low. And that's as far as Louisiana and stuff because the boat, they got a paddle wheeler. They actually got 2, but they're not quite like you see down with the ones we get. No, I can't say that. And it's allowed because the other 2 people haven't done it yet. But be sure you leave your name. Be sure you leave everything in my email, and it'll get mailed out either Monday or Tuesday. It usually takes about 3 days to get somewhere in the USA. St. Louis will probably be faster than that. Yeah, it goes pretty. Usually, when I send them over Gene and they do a 3-day mail. That's usually where it goes out at. Yes, well, I'm just glad to see a guy win something tonight. It's getting a little estrogen worried there for a few minutes.
Yeah.
It was getting a little deep up in here. Elizabeth Kane from Tuscaloosa.
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 I can't even get it out of my mouth tonight.
There's no C in it. It's Tuscaloosa.
No, I can't get it out of my mouth tonight. My brain's no. Another
Not as
female.
hard
We're
as
happy.
Balenciaga.
If you want to know,
Balenciaga.
The Balenciaga is killing me for some reason.
Don't worry, Joe. Balenciaga would give Jeffrey Pritchett a hard time too.
I know. If you want to send us a picture reading your books or whoever you give them to, that's fine. Anything like that y'all send us, ladies and gentlemen, as long and you can tell us if it's our personal or if we can show it or if we can put it on the website. We're gonna start doing this more and more often. We're gonna start giving away a lot more stuff during the years, especially now that we're gonna be on Roku. People know not only we give away cars now. Come on, people, let's not get crazy.
Yeah, we want to know what our winners and listeners look like.
And then might start giving away a special prize for the people in chat. Yes, just to get y'all off of my damn messenger into my chat. No, matter of fact, you can't send the answer on Messenger either. It's got to go to my email. Again, iCarCox.net. Yep. So that's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong.
What
that's
was
wrong.
your
That's wrong.
email?
Jesus. ICAR@cox.net. It's real short, real easy. It's iCar@cox.net. Like iCar@cox.net. Yes, people. No, so far, no. Look, this email's just flying up. My thing's going doom, doom, doom. And it's just, are we guessing and not Googling? Well, we could say Googling's cheating, but how would I know?
Maybe we need to repeat the question again.
Yeah, what Dune author came from the Writers of the Future contest? He's a contest winner. And he's actually really good. If you've read any of the stuff that he did.
I don't know why Jeff don't ever submit to him. He ought to submit. He's not considered a professional writer yet. He doesn't fall outside. He hadn't made enough money yet off of it.
Yeah, no, he's got like a Bigfoot book and then a couple of UFO books.
But
they're mostly just like his first book is just interviews that he typed.
He should write about how he saved you from that vampire.
Me?
That's what he should write about. Yes.
I'm the one who saved him.
He should tell us
vampire.
He should tell us.
This. I don't know about this.
And he should.
There's no vampire.
Or he should tell us about how Wham's hair is this big.
Wham has hair teased to the moon. That is for sure. She's got a lot.
I'm telling you, if you blew some helium there, she'd float.
I love it. The bigger the hair, the better. She's
a lot of fun. I like Wham because
Emily, she's a great lady. She's really smart.
Yeah, she's really smart. She got a PhD and all, and
got a couple PhDs.
Yeah,
I think.
A couple of them, and she likes language and English, and she likes to read. And she's a lot of fun. She's crazy as all hell, but I love her to death. And her and I have completely opposite politics. Completely.
Yeah. Well, you need to have her on here next Friday or something.
She'd kill all three of us. She'd put some kind of wicked chant on us and kill us.
No.
She'll cast a Wiccan spell and drop us all dead on live on Roku TV.
John Morrison, and where are you from? Los Angeles, California. Well, in your case, you can go pick them up. Yes, you can go actually pick them up. I will set it up where one of the people at Writers of the Future will have them for you, and you can just go by and pick them up. You don't have
John or Emily Goodman.
Yes, you can probably go by tomorrow and get them. Since it's Christmas Eve. Well, they're personal friends of mine, but they know about the contest and all like that. Well, we're gonna give away some other stuff this year. We're gonna probably give away some pads from them. You mean those pictures we were talking about? Was it talking about Wednesday night? No. Okay, they're on sale right now. Like the one behind me. I don't know if y'all can see it or not. Let me get my head. No, it's not that one. It is this one. That's copy number 86. It's signed. When he sent it to me, the value on it was $6,600. And he sent me that as a gift, no other reason. And then he sent me a $5,000 pad after that. They're good people.
All of the books.
What is that? I'm sorry.
That comes from Battleship. That's Turley with two humans from Battlefield Earth. Okay. And it's Frank Facetta's artwork, which he put away, so it's worth a lot more money. It's signed.
Is awesome.
Yes, it's signed and all. But there's another one with the lion and the women and the guy, and it's also for sale. But right now, because it's the holidays, and only for the holidays, because there's only, I think there's 3 of these left, and one of the other ones, maybe 2. You can get them for about $900. So if you're after, let me know. I got Sarah's email. Currently, she's another friend of mine over there at Writers of the Future. She's an awesome sales lady, and if you have a chance to meet her, she's as sweet as can be. But don't stand around because she will put your ass to work. I told her from now on, wherever she's at, I'm going to other place. She always finds me something to do. But interested in one of those, you go ahead and get them that way. And it's a great set if you can afford them. They're great. If you could buy both of them, it would be great because, like I said, they are signed and numbered, and they're very hard to get now. You know, he's passed away. L. Ron Hubbard's passed away. It's just a hard set to get your hands on. Yeah. If you know what, if I wouldn't have spent all this money on remodeling my house, I would have probably bought the other one. But now someone would shoot me if I bought it, so we're not going to go there. Lola would shoot me. Yes, my little insane dog. Yes, wow. She's vicious.
No, doesn't like you spending her money.
Right. She said that's kibbles and bits money, buddy. Leave that shit alone. But no, actually, I've been getting emails from this show and from Twitter why she hasn't been around, because usually she likes to come in about half the show, come up, put her head on my shoulder, hang out for a little while, then disappear.
But usually you wear a dark or black shirt.
Yeah.
You can't see her.
Even with the blue one, you don't see her a lot of times. She'll be laying there and she'll open her eyes and people just freak out and start getting all these emails. What the hell was that? It's my dog, people. I mean, her eyes are like this big and they're jet black.
Face in his chest.
Yeah, they're jet black. Not tonight, Morris. We're not going to be giving away any more tonight, but we will be giving away not tomorrow, Saturday. I might do a little more, send out some texts, some hosts, and see if they're not busy. But it's Christmas Eve, people. I know I got to make a
for the book sets.
Yeah, we got all three of them, didn't we?
I don't know. You didn't.
No, we got two. We got Don Morrison. And what was the other person's name?
Oh, hell,
St. Louis.
Oh, we got the guy from Cali.
Okay.
You didn't give away the answer, though, did you?
Oh, it was Kevin J. Anderson, by the way. I'm sorry. And Kevin J. Anderson
wrote the prequels and sequels to Dune.
I'd actually met him as one of the judges at Writers of the Future. I also met the guy who wrote some of the Caribbean movies with Johnny Depp. I actually met him.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes. I met the guy who wrote Ender's Game and stuff like that. There's a lot of these.
Orson Scott Card.
Yeah. So these judges are not lucky just shit judges. These are people with big movie names to their credits, big books and big credits. And Dave don't have movies to him, but he's got hundreds of books and he's a fabulous writer. So you get to meet these people. Okay.
Also, Orson Scott Card was a winner.
Yeah.
Of Writers of the Future.
So this changes people's careers. I've seen it personally now from judging not personally judging three concerts, but involved. I've seen these guys step their game up. I've seen people getting hired by gaming companies, by book writer companies, by other illustrators like Tom Woods and Echo and them. They're outstanding illustrators. They sometimes bring on some of the people, the winners, or they help them find jobs. I mean, these are people who are out of their way. They give you a whole week course. They teach you the financial part of it. They teach you how to better yourself, how to go out and look for people, how to make contacts. Like one of the writers' things, it's like in the middle of the week, the writers have to do a story in 24 hours. They have to turn it in 24 hours. Now, there's parameters for the story and what the story is going to be about, but you have to do it in 24 hours. So there's some video where I'm shooting these guys and ladies sitting down in the right there by the bar and right there in the dining area, right, just lounging around in the lounge area and places like that. And I just sneak up on them because one of the judges said, "Joe, can you get them when they're not paying attention?" So they're like in their computer or writing in a book. They're just nonstop. They never even notice me around. Like Jeff Weiner, he was on with me a couple weeks ago. They don't even notice me because they're too busy trying to get this 24-hour story out. They teach you how anything. They had some of the best illustrators I've ever seen there, teaching you how to draw it correctly. I learned more about writing books in an hour than I did in 40 years. It's amazing how much shit you learn. And same thing with illustrators. I mean, I've just learned stuff. Things I never understood. Shadowing. There's a lot of stuff that made. But after watching, I was there the first year. I hung out with the illustrators. Last year, I was with the authors all year, and it's weird because author winners like to talk. So when you do interview with them, then you get an hour and a half. Illustrator winners do not like to talk,
especially about their artwork.
Oh no, you gotta pull shit out of maybe some of the winners that had maybe made it or something, but you gotta pull it now. When they're judges, the illustrators like to talk and the writers don't like to talk. It's
they don't
crazy.
Want to give anything away, yeah.
It's crazy, but it's a lot of fun, and I always enjoy going. And I learned something. Last time I was there, I wrote 12,000 words, and I haven't wrote a word since. But it's easy for me there. And usually when I'm done with my routine for the day, I'm sitting in a hotel room. It's a comfortable hotel room. It's quiet. Nobody's bothering me. There's not shit going on. Nobody from work's calling me. None of these other from the stations calling me. So I can just sit there and bang away. When I'm here, there's always 5 million things going on. So it's impossible for me just to sit down and clear out my brain. I'm only writing right now about something that happened to us in Gulf Breeze, Florida over an 11-day period. So it's just complicated to sit and write it. And it's eventually I'll get it done. And when I do, I'll put it out there. You know, Curtis, that's true. I know for 10 years, y'all have been asking me to do a documentary book on just facts about ufology, but I'm going to piss off so many people. It's not going to be funny.
Yeah.
It's, last time I was asked to do a speech in DC at the Washington Press Club about this. I pissed off half of ufology. Just calling piss poor research is what I'm calling. And it's all about the research. But we got all the winners in tonight, so I know we got to get out of here. Emily's like past her bedtime, so she might.
It is. I'm super tired.
John might. Jay might turn vampire.
I'll be like this, and I'll go lay down, and then I can't sleep. So.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'll be like, and then I hit the bed. I'm like, what? Then I'm sitting up watching TV or fiddling with the laptop or something.
Pumped after a show to go right to sleep.
Yeah,
so.
it's crazy.
I was
it's
up
like
since
extra
5
energy.
a.m. too.
I ain't been up that later. I think I got.
I was up at 5 a.m. too, but only to go to the bathroom. Then I went back to sleep. Then I got up again. Then I got up and went back. Yeah, so I've been up just as early. Off and on.
Yeah, no, I think today I got up about 8:30, but I didn't go to bed until 2:33 last night.
Yeah, but your 8:30 is 3 hours after our 8:30. So
yeah,
what can I say? But anyway, guys and girls, I know. Anyway, girls, you can tune in anytime to the network. This show will be up sometime in the morning tomorrow. It will also be featured on Roku sometime in the upcoming week. Everything's been broadcast live this week, and on Roku. I'm just sure where the channel is because I'm waiting for them to call me back on what the hell's going on. With all the stuff they asked for, they're just doing their side now. So we'll see where it goes. But on that note, any guys and girls or anything about these crazy people before we leave? Y'all whacked out people.
What was that? Like you were breaking up a little bit.
All I heard was whacked out people.
Whacked out people. I said, do you have anything you want to say to these whacked out people?
Oh, well, yeah. If you want to catch me on Jeffrey Pitchett's show, The Church of Mavis, we will return January 6th, I believe, with Wham for the first 3. Then I'll come in 3 weeks after that. And we got some good shows coming up, lined up next year. And we'll see you then Fridays at 8 here on the network.
I just want to say Merry Christmas to everybody. It was good to be back tonight. It's been a couple weeks since I've been here, but appreciate you, Joe and Jay, both of you. Hope you have a good Christmas. And then my show's independent, but it might be coming over to this network.
Yes, we're working on that.
We're working on it. So What the Frick Live, I have a big special next Wednesday at 9 p.m. I have from TLC's or Discovery Plus's, I guess TLC. We bought a funeral home cast. The Bloombergs are going to be on. If you all watch that during the Halloween this year, really excited to talk to them. So
that ought to be interesting.
Getting Jack Daniels out next Wednesday.
It's very funny. I was talking to a Bloomberg today. But anyway, guys, I want to thank everyone again for tuning in, and be sure to tune in anytime. I'm glad to see the audience stay with us for the extra hour. It's very nice to see y'all piling in tonight and all your lovely comments going around and stuff like that. I really wish y'all would come hang out on one of the chat videos. I don't know how chat's going to work on Roku, but remember, there's 5 Facebook pages, 2 YouTube pages, a LinkedIn, and a Twitter page you can come visit us on. So, and all those questions come up in this chat area where all of us can see it. It just makes life easier. But good night, and stay tuned for Spaced Out Radio with the Mad